come on here and solicit donations like some of my peers. And there's nothing wrong if they do. Would I come on here, and I know it's late tonight, so it's already at midnight, but I apologize for my late start. I come on here and I solicit your time and attention. So from now on, what we're going to do, we're going to analyze on a weekly basis. Whatever the most active chats are going to be on that right side. I don't care if y'all agree with me, disagree with me. We want to see activity. And as long as every time I look up, I'm like, okay, they moving up in there. That's what we going to do. Kick been moving crazy. They've been active. There's a lot of goons out there. Okay? The Academy's popping too. But we're going to rotate those slots. As far as activity go, by the way, I also want to salute to Kick overall as a platform. They embraced us at a time we needed them, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys for showing love and going over there as well. So, damn, y'all been going crazy. Okay, all right. Our block, it's not over yet. The war is not over. By the way, I also have a thought, but we're going to be fair. We're going to be fair. I have a thought. Okay, here comes the Academy. There might be a scenario where our block or King Academics kicks out the Academy, which is like the chat that just popped up. I'll move it real quick. This is the Academy. They might kick them out of there. And they might take over the lower slot. So now y'all have an entire, let me make it a little bit closer that y'all can see. Good, we good right there. And I ain't gonna lie, Kick looking a little bit more active than YouTube already. I don't know. The only thing I'm gonna tell y'all, just be active and participate in the stream. Comment whether you're talking to someone in the chat, you're commenting on the stream, you're trying to ask me a question. Let's get it going on. Shout out to all my people at Kick. And, of course, shout out to YouTube, but even shout out to Rumble as well. All right, chat. We do got a long stream today, so I drank 1 cup of coffee, but I'm going to have to I'm going to have to work it out tonight. I'm going to have to work it out. We got a bunch of shit to talk about. Atlanta, what are we going to do? Atlanta, what are we going to do? We got to talk about it. What are we going to do, Atlanta? What are we going to do? Yo, is it me or is Kick going crazier than YouTube right now? Maybe it's early. Wow. Yo, y'all better get up in that chat because that Kick shit is moving. Anyway. I would like for you guys to tell me what you want me to talk about. What we have on our agenda, we're going to get a little bit into politics. But you know me, I try to do this within the last hour or so. So we will get to Candace Owens. I didn't do it last night. And by the way, could somebody remind me, where are we in the 30 for 30 streak? I know we're past day 15. Are we at we might be at day like 19, right? Oh, wow. You guys let me know. Okay. So, we will get to some politics. And not necessarily politics, but it's a political story, I guess. But it's really interesting. By the way, I do want y'all to know I don't have, despite I was disgusted by them trying to say I'm right-wing, like I'm trying to push propaganda for my audience to vote a certain. I don't care what you vote. I don't even care if you vote. Like, that's not my thing. Now, I feel like we are close enough that even if I voted for someone you might not like, you'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to listen to whatever act talking about with politics, but that's my nigga still. We could disagree on political stuff. I'm not trying to push political stuff to y'all. And I would rather, if I could push something, I would rather push a rapper or music to y'all more than politics. If I do cover political subjects, I hope you guys take it as Yo, give us the entertainment value of it. Like, I think this is an entertainment, or entertaining actually. Candace Owens, Erica, Kirk, that whole saga. She met up with Erica, from Turning Point, and obviously Charlie Kirk's wife, and then she hopped on here. There's a lot of drama I could unpack, right? It's kind of like when we covered the Rayner story yesterday. Again, we're at the end of the year. Other than 21 Savage dropping an album, there's no new music. It's only 21 Savage and Pooh Shiesty. That's it. Actually, let me not dismiss a bunch of people. Shy Glizzy did drop, and there's like 2 more drops that I'm forgetting. But there's not much music going on, right? So just allow me to kind of step outside that realm for a bit. And again, I do understand I might not be an expert on politics. I feel like I'm decently intellectually, up there or sharp. But I don't want to be the guy who y'all are thinking you need to listen to for anything but music, right? But I think I'm good with finding the entertainment. Anyway, cool. So we're going to talk about Atlanta. It's a lot of stuff to talk about Atlanta, a lot of stuff to unpack. There's some other topics, and I guess while we're I know it's late. I know some of y'all might be like, yo, no foreplay today. Pause. Get straight to it, right? But we could probably do a small topic before everybody get up in here, right? We could probably do a topic or 2, right? Can't we? I think finally, well, let's start out with this. It appears that 50 Cent has now let people know that perhaps the full court press that he had against Chano, Jim Jones, Fabulous, and Dave East on their podcast, he might be chilling out. He actually put up a post today, and this was his post. Let's see what he says. He says, so, Jim actually wired $200,000, which, by the way, Fifth, he's short 50,000. You said 250, okay? If he wired 200, he's short 50. But okay, but ironic, he's short 50. He said, okay, cool. He may turn out to be a good tenant after all. Samuel, I guess he's talking to the person who owns the building that they shoot the podcast in. If you need to make them pay, just give me a ring. I'm here. Now, I'll do one better. And Fifth, I'm not trying to undercut you here. To Chano, Jim Jones, and Fabulous, and Dave East, I have about 4 or 5 studios that's literally within a mile from the Holland Tunnel, which is about 3 miles from Times Square. It's just on the Jersey side. It's right over the Hudson. Everybody comes there, and I rent it out to a whole bunch of people. I'm down to whatever price y'all are paying. If you owed $250,000, y'all are getting fleeced. Now, despite our issues, okay, whether I use my studio and I've incurred those costs ever since I did Off the Record, even though I haven't been to the studio maybe in a month, right? When is the last time I've been there? With Lauren Conlon, I still have it. You know what I mean? The point is this. If you guys need a place to record, and by the way, I actually rock with you guys so much, I got a dressing room for y'all because apparently y'all be having a dressing contest who could have the best, teener citizen drip. It's all good. We got a dressing room for y'all. But if y'all owe $250,000, what I would charge y'all, honestly, I ain't no bullshit. Y'all shoot once a week, right? I could give y'all a block of 12 hours for once a week, right? Does the editors need to come to the studio and do work other than the day you shoot? But if you want to rent out my spot, 12 hours, I'll give you preferential. You can pick whatever date. We'll push any rentals or whatever back. It's definitely a better location than where y'all at, because the only better location than where I'm at is Times Square. And I don't think y'all in Times Square. But let me see. Every week, 12 hours. Let me try to do the math. Maybe it would add up. I don't know. Well, if you require us to do some stuff, I'll give y'all a deal right now. I'll give y'all a deal. This is with our editors and, well, not full editors, but we'll do our recording people, our engineers. I do 3 bands. 3 bands for one joint. So 3 times 4, that's 12 bands a month. It would take a while for you to get to $250,000. So really, 12 bands a month, that would be $120,000 a year. Come on. Y'all get a place to record. And we'll put all your stuff in there. We'll even help you with set design. Shout out to my man Verselli. He'll give you a discount. We'll get your stuff in there. You guys don't have to be squatters. The squatter stuff is not cool. We'll help you out. So, I don't know why y'all are paying that much, but if y'all want to get in a deal with me and I'll rent you my studio, it would literally take you 2.5 years of non-payment to even rack up a debt of $250,000. 2.5 years. Okay? And I'll give y'all keys. Y'all can have access to the building whenever. The key card might just have to be for that day. Okay? Anyway. Fifth is saying that they have paid the debt and look like the bullying from 50, or maybe the embarrassment where we're looking at these guys like, wait, y'all broke, has done the job. And that's where 50 always takes his micro wins. He wins. Not only no one is going to talk tough to him because it's 50 Cent. They can't talk money with him. But also, they don't want to be embarrassed by him. So whatever he might know that they didn't want no one to know, they went behind the scenes and covered up. And we heard nothing from Jim Jones, respectfully. And we heard nothing from Mano other than him saying, is smoking here? Does he want smoke? He's called you a loser and a bum 15 times. I think he does. But okay, cool. So it looks like the podcast lives to fight another day. They have paid $200,000. I think that came from Fab, respectfully. Dave East, Mano, and Jim Jones, I don't think they got $200,000. I think that came from Fabulous. But it's okay. Nevertheless, the podcast lives. All right. Okay. Oh, 50's still boasting and bragging. He says, are you having a good day? Because I am. I'm number one again. You have a right to be upset about it. Holy shit. Now, did y'all see 50 go back and forth? Well, it wasn't going back and forth. He actually commented on. So Dr. Umar actually jumped in on this, right? So Dr. Umar did a stream with a Philadelphia streamer named Rod. And Dr. Umar, 50 Cent. And he gave some comments, and 50 actually responded. You know, let me see. Can we find where the 50 responded? 50 responded. He just said, shut up, nigga. Like, you know, he did this guy posted to some Instagram page, and he just said, shut up, nigga. That's all he said. And, this is what he said right here. Here he says, shut up, nigga, right? There he goes. Now, if you're wondering why he said shut up, and by the way, Umar did respond afterwards, but let's hear what Dr. Umar said initially. Check this out.
I saw the Diddy documentary. Here's what I'm going to say about the Diddy documentary. And I have no problem with black people holding black people accountable. I'm having a problem with black people needing to expose black people that in-depthly.
Yeah.
But you never expose white people who do things to black people. The Roman Catholic Church has taken advantage of way more children than R. Kelly allegedly did.
Right.
Are you following me?
I'm following you.
Jeffrey Epstein has taken advantage of way more women than Sean Combs allegedly did. But where is the documentary on Epstein by black people? Where's the documentary on the Roman Catholic Church excesses on black people? You see what I'm saying? So to me, the 50 Cent documentary, again, respect the 50, no issues there. It is an example of self-hatred disguised as community service. You see how that go? It looks like community service. No, it's not. That's self-hate. I saw the Diddy documentary. Here's what I'm going to say about the Diddy documentary. And I have no problem with black people holding black people accountable. I'm having a problem with black people needing to expose black Your spirit don't need a label. It don't need a title.
Right.
We give it one. That's the. I don't care if you want to get it through a religion, get it through a religion. So America has an independent reality.
Like a regular school for them because
beauty as a black woman is going to be determined. That's the mess. That's when we're going to the services. You follow me? Jonathan Majors. Jail for a crime I don't think he committed. Tupac went to jail. Agent, right?
Yeah.
I just want to bring him down because I don't like him, right? I'm not talking about them. That's the ghetto informants. I'm talking about, because my circle very tight, right?
Yeah.
But in my unit, you will be taken down. We need black power. Them, right?
Yeah.
Look, 5'5" thick in the cross.
What that mean?
You have a spiritual burden. Mm-hmm. See, it's not about promiscuity.
Yeah.
Conflict within themselves.
Yeah.
That they have to rectify. Every cousin went to jail. I was getting a little concerned. That's how I ended up doing it. I'm saying I can keep going. I know it's not easy. You got a Republican dominated.
Yeah.
Because I came out the gate hard.
Yeah.
So there was not the exact system. Buying some. Everybody out here shopping for Christmas stuff. You see? And this right here is really one of my most disappointing periods of the entire in my universe.
Yeah.
More than we hate anything else in this world.
Wow, thank you. Sorry, Chad. Of course, I'm muted. So, my bad. I pulled up the original clip just to try to get some real context. I'm trying to get out of the habit of playing like these clips we see on Twitter, which honestly, I mean, I have a bunch of Twitter pages, and I oversee a bunch of pages that I have people who post to. And they're going to try to find the most salacious clips, and to be honest, a lot of times it'd be out of context. And when I mean out of context, it's not like contextually dishonest, but it wouldn't rage bait you if you heard the context, right? Like if I just clipped 5 seconds of someone saying, yeah, and that's why I don't fuck with hoes with blonde hair. You're like, whoa. Right? Like, but if you heard a conversation, I'm like, oh yeah, I got set up 15 times by that. You're like, oh, it makes sense. So a lot of times when I see shit on Twitter, I try to find the original source and watch 3 minutes before the clip and 3 minutes after. I don't know if you guys like agree with that principle. Why? Because I've seen people clip me and they do it consistently and they're like, yo, this is what Act thinks. I'm like, well, if you heard 4 seconds before, I was literally given a context. I wasn't even talking about me. But clipping, as much as I love it because it's a great promoter, it could also sometimes lose the context. So that's what I'm trying to find it.
Damn.
Okay, that's number one. People, we're the richest.
So I'm trying to find a Diddy conversation, right? This is like a full VOD of what they were doing.
I don't know how to get started.
Now it's us.
So it's by design.
Yeah.
Borrowed, modified, and plagiarized.
It's not 24 hours, like the day over.
Recognize that there is unseen evil.
Right.
Whenever you marry, ain't no difference. We got pedophilia.
Yeah. That's nutty.
For somebody else's destiny, they might need that. God, you have to go into yourself.
Does anyone know?
And the reason you learn through only a question of when. You must a visible tattoo on your body. One that cannot be.
Hold on. Actually, they have this cool tool. I don't know if you guys use this tool. There's a tool on here sometimes that will say show transcript. Here we go. Perfect. Yeah, all we got to do is search the transcript. Documentary. Okay, here we go. Bingo. That's a cool tool, by the way. Here we go.
Documentary. What did you think about that?
I saw the Diddy documentary.
Yep.
So let's do let's try this for a bit. I'm gonna go back a minute or two. Let's get some context. And and then we're gonna get to what 50 says.
Uh-huh.
And they said,
Here we go.
That's what got me
recent.
crying.
You hear about that? Yeah, 6ix9ine.
I heard about
He
Aisha, but
was
not
on some
6ix9ine.
interview. Tekashi.
Yeah,
He was
I know
on-
Tekashi.
He was on some interview, and they said something about what celebrities you've been with, and he said Aisha Curry. He could have been joking,
What the?
or
That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, chat. Because what he's talking about with 6ix9ine, and 6ix9ine did mention Aisha Curry, he was clearly trolling, and he admitted he was trolling afterwards, but that didn't get clipped. So what got clipped was him saying he did sleep with her, and, that went viral. No one really went back to play the longer clip, and actually he had to do another, stream or whatever, where he corrected it to say, bro, I was trolling, I didn't sleep with Aisha Curry. So that's why I'm playing Dr. Umar in context.
something like that, allegedly. You know what I mean? But I'm hoping that's not the case.
No, it's on.
I'm hoping that's not the
It's
case.
ass, but it worked. Yeah, super ass. Damn, that is crazy. Yo, we just watched the Diddy documentary. What did you think about that?
I saw the Diddy documentary. Here's what I'm going to say about the Diddy documentary.
Okay, here we go.
And this is not about 50 Cent as a person. It's about us as a people.
Okay.
Let me just say that up front.
Yeah.
I am bothered by the fact, and I have no problem with black people holding black people accountable, right? But
I think I know what you about to say because I said it.
But I'm having a problem with black people needing to expose black people that in-depthly.
Yeah.
But you never expose white people who do things to black people. The Roman Catholic Church.
Let me stop it there. And I'm a little bit torn on this, but I'm not torn for the reason why Dr. Umar is saying what he's saying. I'm torn for the fact that 50 Cent has an axe to grind because there's a personal vendetta there. My baby mother and the woman who I was in love with for a long time, you have not only slept with, you've slutted out, and you have put her through some trauma that may even bleed into how she looks at not only sex, but also how she deals and interacts with people. One of the people who she has to interact with on a long-term scale is my son, and it is incumbent and it is the job of the father to make sure that your offspring has the best chance of survival and, doing the best in life, whether it's to make money or put them in the best situation or around the best people. And if you realize that the mom, who's going to be the primary caregiver, has been traumatized by someone, even if you still don't romantically care for her, you feel like somebody just spun on your family and you got to go spin on them. So I didn't think that 50 necessarily, because he has an axe to grind, you probably shouldn't pick the guy. You know what I mean? Like, if I had to write the story, if I directed the story of, and these are people who I don't even have, it's nothing ever that personal, right? But if they wouldn't make me the person who directed the Meek Mill documentary. And it's not that I even hate Meek at the current moment. Why? I've had a history with him that's not that pleasant. Who knows if I still have an axe to grind, or I might want to just make him seem like way lesser than maybe the world perceives him as. Do you get what I'm saying? That's my only issue with the documentary. Now, to Dr. Umar's point, I vehemently disagree with him. Because he's making a point on the counter that I know if we flip the scenario, he would try to defend the same thing in trying to argue people down. Let me, again, I don't like to lose people, but I know you guys are so smart. So, you guys can keep up with the convo. Check this, what he's saying.
Yeah.
I am bothered by the fact. And I have no problem with black people holding black people accountable.
Okay.
Right? But
I think I know what you about to say because I said it.
But I'm having a problem with black people needing to expose black people that in-depthly.
Yeah.
But you never expose white people who do things to black people.
Okay, so let me then take the same premise that he says. And I would say this. Well, Dr. Umar, let's compare this, and I know this is not necessarily the same thing, but let's compare this to crime. And let's compare this to another hot and really kind of touchy subject in terms of black on black crime. I've heard Dr. Umar, but it is a talking point within the black community and black, pro-black talking heads. When you start talking about black on black crime, this is their response. There's no such thing as black on black crime. People commit crimes in the vicinity that they're in. So if black people live in either the ghettos or the hoods among other black people, they're going to commit crime among other black people. White people, if they live in the trailer parks, or if they live in, wherever among other white people, they're going to commit crime among white people. It's not a thing that black people just like to kill black people. It's just that black people are around each other, and if these things occur, that's what it is. So let's take that premise, not about crime necessarily, but about that same thing. Oh, black on black crime isn't a thing because it's just about who black people are around. So yes, if crime is going to occur, it's going to be about black. It's going to be, if you rob someone, it's going to be most likely a black person because you live there. Why can't we look at the same premise and say, well, if you're going to do a documentary, you're going to do a documentary about your peer. It's not necessarily about, oh, let's expose a white person. No, you're going to do a documentary. If you're a black guy in hip hop, you're probably going to do a documentary about another black guy in hip hop. You're not going to do a documentary about a country singer or about someone that's in the tech world because that's not the people you're around. So that's what I'm trying to say, and that's why I disagree with Dr. Umar on this one particular point. I don't think that this is a black on black thing, and why are you exposing black people but not white people? 50 Cent hung in the circles, was around people that were either close or clearly was sharing the same bed with him and 50 and Diddy. So even though I do think that 50 is biased, who would be the better person to do a documentary on Diddy? Would you want some white person doing a documentary on Diddy that never knew Diddy, that never knew maybe women that Diddy was fornicating with, having freak-offs with? Or would you want someone who have been in the club with him 15 times, been on the phone with him? He knows intricately Diddy at a different level. Now, granted, I'm still not saying don't put his enemy, who has an axe to grind, but I actually believe that if we believe that most things are happening as a reason of proximity to other people in that same type of situation, whether it's black on black crime, yeah, I would expect black people to do documentaries on black people. What's the problem? White people should do documentaries on white people, or whatever genre or wherever you live. Why is that so odd? And that's my opinion on that. I'll let Dr. Umar continue.
The Roman Catholic Church has taken advantage of way more children than R. Kelly allegedly did.
Right.
Okay, and that's where I say when people, he's flipping the idea of when people are trying to debunk black on black crime, and they usually say, well, no, it's not a thing. Black people aren't that hatred or whatever, and I believe that, right? But you can't use it only when convenient. Why the hell would 50 Cent, who's not Catholic, go to do a documentary on Roman Catholics or priests? Why the hell would he do that? First thing they would say, do you have any understanding, tacit knowledge, or even experience being around people who are Roman Catholic? Do you practice Catholicism? Do you go to one of these cathedrals? No. If you don't, why the hell would 50 Cent be qualified to do that? If anything, 50 Cent is qualified to do a hip-hop documentary or a documentary about someone within hip-hop, because what is he? A mogul and also one of the, better rappers, especially coming from New York, that is in hip-hop. It's like, put it like this. With Dr. Umar's logic, if they said, yo, we're going to make a documentary about the New York hip hop scene for the last 30 years, who do you want to direct it? You could get Steven Spielberg or you could get Spike Lee. Do you get what I'm saying? It's clear and obvious. Spike Lee would know the culture more. He was a part of it. So that's more natural. The thing with Dr. Umar is saying is that, and I think he's trying to frame black culture for us to operate on a monolith like how some people perceive Jewish culture to do. Like Jewish culture, they don't like nobody attacking them. Period. Even if it might be truthful. Right? I don't think black people have that type of same type of cohesion and, oh shit, you're attacking one of us, so there's something wrong with you. It's just not like that. That kind of exists in Jewish culture. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you say one thing, if there was a black guy trying to do a documentary on some evil Jewish guy and he mentioned anything about the nigga being Jewish or Jewish culture, I think they would call that nigga anti-Semite, right? Clearly, right? So he's trying to have black people move like how Jewish people move, except never be like that.
Right.
Are you following me?
I'm following you.
Jeffrey Epstein has taken advantage of way more women than Sean Combs allegedly did.
Right.
But where is the documentary on Epstein by black people?
Why would black people make a documentary about Epstein if they weren't around him? That wouldn't make any sense. Now, if Trump said he's going to do a documentary, right? You might want to watch that. Trump has been around the motherfucker, knows intricately and intimately. That dude has been in situations. Shit, he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. He could do a documentary. Why would some random dude who's never been around the situation do the documentary?
The documentary on the Roman Catholic Church excesses on black people. You see what I'm saying? So to me, the 50 Cent documentary, again, respect the 50, no issues there. It is an example of self-hatred disguised as community service. You see how that go? Yeah. It looks like community service. No, it's not. That's self-hate.
I said that.
Because we never do that to white folks.
Right.
We got a whole list of white folks who've been hurting us. Why we never done no documentaries on these killer cops? Why has there never been a documentary on Trayvon Martin's killer? There's never been a documentary on Michael Brown's killer. There's never been a documentary on Tamir Rice's killer. There's never been a documentary on Breonna Taylor's killer. There's never been a documentary on Amir Locke killer. You see what I'm saying? I can keep going. Sonia Massey's killer, Sonia Bland's killer. But we'll do a 4-part series on Puff. We'll do an 8-part series on R. Kelly. Where is the 8-part series on the Roman Catholic Church, Jeffrey Epstein, and all these other ones?
And to say this,
Harvey Weinstein didn't even get an 8-part series.
To say this, he's talking about from us.
From us.
Because he's talking about self-hatred.
From us.
Okay.
Because somebody said there is an Epstein from us.
From us.
Okay.
And the Epstein documentary is not no 4-part joint. They may do it now that he's dead. You see that?
Yeah.
But where was the Jeffrey Epstein documentary when he was alive? They did R. Kelly alive. They did Bill Cosby alive.
Let's see who did Surviving R. Kelly. Who was the people behind that? That's important to know, right? It was written by Nigel. That sounds like a black guy. But let's look at the executive producers. Yeah, it was black people who did that too. Dream Hampton is a notorious African-American writer that, yes, has some, definitely has a lot of ties to Jay-Z, but she's black. Tamara Simmons. It looks like this is a top executive producer. Tamara Simmons. I don't even know who this is. Tamara Simmons. Executive film producer. She's black. What Dr. Umar, I think, incorrectly is trying to perceive or portray, actually, not perceive. He's trying to portray that 50 is almost like going against what the majority of black people would do, as if 50 is the only black person that would do a documentary about another black person to try to bring down, quote unquote, that black person. Surviving R. Kelly wasn't done by, I'm looking at it now. Dream Hampton, black. Tamara Simmons, black. Maybe Jesse Daniels is white, but it appears that there were black people along with this. Jesse Daniels surviving R. Kelly. Okay, don't really know who this is, but I would imagine this person's white. Joel, okay, so it looks like it might be half and half. Joel Karsberg, this person gotta be white too, right? That's white, film producer, white guy. Let's keep it going. Jessica Everett, okay, another person that's white. And this person here, who is this? Maria Pepin, clearly black. Once we see Bad Girls Club, come on now. And I'm seeing a small picture right here. Oh, never mind. It's a white girl. What the fuck? It is a white girl. So there's two black people, which again, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Dream Hampton, if you don't know, she's like a big deal. Like she's a big deal when it comes to like whatever. Okay, let's actually read. So filmmaker, music critic Dream Hampton served as the executive producer together with okay, and okay, let's not think about who came involved. Let's just think about who were the people behind it. Dream Hampton with some white people and Tamara Simmons. So it looks like two black people, two white people. Again, I know it's a little bit more mixed, and I'm pretty sure if we look at, let's see, The Reckoning. It's gonna be The Reckoning. Diddy. Let's see. Fuck. Can we find it? Okay, Sean Combs' The Reckoning. Let's look at their executive producers. 50 Cent, clearly black. Hey, Emporium, thank you for the 10. I'm going to read it in 1 second. I'm pulling up the chat here. 50's black. I know Alexandra Stapleton, she's black. Let's look at Stacy Scripter. Who is this? Okay. Stacy Scripter, VP of Programming. She's white. So, like, listen, the narrative comes from the two people at the top. It's 50 and Alexandra Stapleton. We're never seeing these people on screen. Just like Surviving R. Kelly is Dream Hampton and Tamara Simmons, right? We're never seeing these white people when it comes to the Surviving R. Kelly or even Sean Combs' The Reckoning. The point what I'm trying to say is that the only argument you could make is not that, 50, why are you targeting black people? Because you can't big up Surviving R. Kelly when it's the same thing. It's black people who did that too. So the only thing that sticks out is that 50 didn't like this nigga. And 50 was beefing with this nigga. And then some people could bring up, 50 may have been accused of certain stuff that might be eerily similar to what he's accused about. And you're writing a story about how he's so bad, but maybe you have done the same. That's the only point you could really have.
They did Sean Combs alive. Where was the Epstein documentary alive? Where's the documentary on the Roman Catholic Church? Y'all never do nothing on them living Caucasian predators. It's self-hate. I'm not excusing what Puff did.
No, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm saying that look at how you go out of your way to embarrass one another, and you don't do that with the enemies of the race.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy nigga.
Okay, that's the point. So I'll leave it at that. I did see that Dr. Umar did respond after 50 said, "Shut up, nigga." Dr. Umar, 50 Cent. He responded with like a long ass post. It was kind of eloquent, a little bit. And let me see if I can read it to y'all. Here we go. He wrote a whole thing. Media, here we are. He wrote a whole thing. Why can't I find it? Let me just look up Dr. Umar. He damn well issued a statement. Let me look at his Instagram. Dr. Umar, Instagram. Here we go. Maybe it's on his Instagram. I think it is. Okay. Here we go. So it's a United We Stand. Dr. Umar Infatunde. I didn't even know that was the last name. He says, peace and Pan-Africanism. Mr. Curtis Jackson. It's been brought to my attention that you posted a clip of my recent interview with Rod on your Instagram page. I got no beef with you, big homie. But I always stand on business, and I meant exactly what I said. I'm proud of your new film studio, and I think we should collaborate on a few projects for the culture. I have a strong base of grassroots support in Shreveport and throughout Louisiana. How about, what is this, like a job interview? Yo, Dr. Umar, get to the shit. How about we co-produce a few documentaries and docudramas for our people on the Black experience? I'm a leader in Black global Black consciousness, the most popular Black scholar in the world, and I got a Black youth ready on all continents. I was a fan of Power, Raising Kanan, and BMF, but the time has come to turn the corner and start producing more socially progressive and culturally enriching content for our community, especially the youth. Put up or shut up. I'm ready for a real independent Black TV and film revolution. Let's get to work, big homie. Tomorrow is promised to no man. All we have is now. Most requested scholar. Yo, Dr. Umar. Brother, I fuck with you, but this was a goddamn disgrace. Actually, I seen this thing before. I didn't read it until I'm on stream. Yo, Dr. Umar, bro. Bro, pick your head up for some fucking air, gang. Wipe that glaze off your face, homie. Come on, gang. Brother, I know they're locking you out of your accounts. I don't know what type of fraudery is happening when it comes to you. Not necessarily you're doing it, but look like, people are playing with you. We like you, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, when I start seeing people embracing you, I thought you were supposed to be our Martin Luther King. You and Tariq Nasheed. You Martin Luther, and he over here Malcolm X. But brother, I ain't gonna lie, some of the fraudery and when I realized your top issue was no bunny hopping, I realized, I'm like, yo, I like you, Dr. Umar, and I won't speak ill of you because I know you stand for some good shit. But this was disgraceful because you called this man out because he did a documentary that you felt was tearing down the Black community, but not only tearing down the Black community, it was tearing down a Black man that was powerful in the culture. I know you weren't defending Diddy, but the point of why you critiqued him was that he wouldn't do a documentary tearing a white man down. How the hell did you write this whole statement basically offering up your service, talking about you're the most requested scholar? Yo, let's collaborate. Yo, what the fuck? You should have stood on business, as you said in here. You said right here, but I always stand on business. This wasn't about him collaborating with you. He never thought to collaborate with you, and everybody know 50 a slimy nigga. He don't want to collaborate with you. His goal was to punk you, just like he's punking Mano and Jim Jones and them, and they had to run to the bank and wire $200,000. Mr. Ifantunde, what you should have really said to him, hey, I don't want to tear you down with me responding. That's fine. Because I do think your studio could help the Black community and the Black progress of some of the things I'm pushing in the initiatives. However, we were talking about this documentary that you produced surrounding Sean Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Brother Love Combs. You should have addressed that. In no way in this goddamn message have you addressed it. It felt like as soon as 50 gave you the attention, you submitted your resume basically saying, brother, listen, fuck Diddy. Just give me a job. Let's work together. Me and you, we could do some good shit. That seems facetious. Am I tripping, chat? Let me open the chat here. I might be tripping. If I'm tripping, say, you wildin'. By the way, there's nothing wrong with him trying to collaborate with 50 Cent, but come on. The reason why 50 responded to you is because you critiqued him for doing a Diddy doc. Not that he said, hey, is there any Black leaders that want to come to my studio to work on Black empowerment stuff? Does 50 even look like that type of nigga? He don't look like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole. Does 50 even look like one of them marching ass like, yo, we gonna be all right, mice on ass niggas? Fuck no. The nigga produced Power. He been producing, 50's producing stuff about drug dealers and crime. Power. BMF. He's not trying to produce some shit about, the honorable, come on. He ain't trying to do that. All right, some people say I'm tripping. What I'm saying is that Dr. Umar looked crazy on this. You came to him about him producing a doc about a black mogul, and you felt like that was tearing down black people. And instead of you saying, brother, I don't like that you did that. You basically showed him your credentials and resume and then try to pitch some new things. Now, granted, that could be part of the solution. But 50 never sought you out or responded to you because you were offering solution. He responded to you because he didn't like your critique. And when you responded to the fact that he didn't like your critique, all you said was that you stopped mentioning the critique. That's the problem, if you ask me. All right. Speaker Music says Dr. Umar is a cancer to our culture. Ebro thought Drake was. I won't say that. I do believe that this wasn't it wasn't the best year for him. It started to make us question a few things. And again, I might be a fool when I say this, but, I'm one of those people, when I read the Bible, I'm like, so you're telling me that we're reading the Bible and we got to read that God sent his son here 10,000 years ago for some other people who existed in that other time, but we out here struggling now, he won't send his son now for us? Then I got to think about this. So you want to tell me that the greatest leaders of our time, the black leaders, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they only existed in that time? Who are we stuck with out here now? So I've always said maybe not the same message because we're not going through the same plight. Part of the greatness of Martin and Malcolm is that they were under threat of being assassinated if they continue to go down a certain path. Most people, I don't think Dr. Umar is under threat of being assassinated. So when I compare him to these people, you might be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'm saying that who's the black leader in terms of rhetoric, ideas, and whatever it is? I've thought it was Dr. Umar and Tariq Nasheed. There's a few niggas who talk well, like Roland Martin and niggas like that. Them niggas is just scholars. They don't got nothing going on. Like these guys, I feel like they galvanize people. So I've said maybe that's what they are. But when I hear shit like that, I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway. I wasn't trying to criticize Jesus. I was just trying to say I do believe in every era there are people that represents the overall picture. And I'll leave it at that. Okay. All right. Before I get to the Atlanta, and so this is the last topic before I get to Atlanta. Wale, I'm not talking about the intern. That's one of our chat niggas. Wale the rapper. About 2 months ago, they had an interesting run-in, right? Essentially, Wale was at, I forgot where it was. Let's see. Count. This was at a award show, I believe. And they bumped into each other. And Kai did not know who Wale was. They actually bonded over like a video game. When he got in the vehicle, he's reading his chat. His chat said, yo, you don't know who you just met? That's Wale. And basically, he kind of admitted, like, I really don't know him. I don't know this guy that well. And it appears that Wale definitely took a lot from that encounter. And we're going to play what he said recently. Check this out.
What up, bro?
So he sees Wale. He's walking to his vehicle.
You good? What you playing on your Nintendo Switch?
So he had a Nintendo Switch.
Smash. Smash, bro? I'll beat you.
Now, I think people believe that Wale was under the impression that Kai knew who he was, but he didn't. So Kai gets in the car.
Yeah.
And his cameraman and security kind of clue him in.
Oh my God, that was somebody crazy. Hey,
So he says, that was somebody crazy. I don't know who that was. By the way, you know, Kai's a very honest person. It's not like he wasn't trying to ego. He's looking at his chat like, oh, that was somebody like important. This is maybe at the Grammys. Was it the Grammys? I don't know.
Whole chat knows him.
Wale.
Wale? What you do?
I know who.
Now, here's the thing. We got to keep reminding y'all. Kai Cenat is 24 years old. When was Wale last hit? It's not on Chill. I'm going to tell you when his real last hit was. And respectfully to Wale, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but I'm telling you how a young, early 20s kid might see you. I'm not talking about myself. It's my job to know music. So I'm at a different, I could be held to a different standard because my bread and butter is that, right? So if you were like, yo, Ak, you don't know that I dropped an album last year. If I don't know it, granted, I might be busy or whatever, but like, I get it. I'm a little different. Kai is not, right? So as a lead artist, let's just look. I think his last hit, let me see. Wow, has it been that long? And I'm talking about like legit hit as a lead artist. Wow. Well, On Chill was in 2019. I don't remember that song. I ain't gonna lie. All right. Before then, what would we be talking about? My Pretty Young Thing? What year was this? That was 2015. Yeah, 2015 he was still popping. Yeah, Let me see if anything happened after 2015 in any of these situations. Yeah, 2015. Okay. Why did I say that? Okay, let's say his last real hit is in 2015. Yo, if I just showed y'all that Kai Cenat is 24, 10 years ago, Kai Cenat was 14. Do I think Kai Cenat would be knowing what the hot contemporary artist that's not like lit, and when I mean lit, like I'm talking about he doesn't make club music all the time. He's more of an artist. Do I think that guy should know everything about him? No. So I think Kai's being honest. I don't think Kai's trying to play him at all.
Wow,
right. Oh, wow. Right? Oh,
And then later on, this happened.
That shit making me look.
Lotus Flower Bomb dropped, Lotus, in 2013, I believe. No. Wow, that's that long ago? 2012. Lotus Flower Bomb dropped in 2012. Bro, that's 13 years ago.
Oh,
And then later on, this happened.
That shit making me look crazy right now. Just let you know. What? That's making me look crazy. The exchange that we had in the hallway. It's
my bad, bro.
So Wale walks back up to him, and I think that's where it kind of got more awkward. Because he walks back up and he says something to Kai, and Kai still seems clueless. But it's more of Wale's reaction when people are like, yo, this guy cares about this interaction that much, right? And people felt like, yo, as a rapper, you shouldn't be doing this. But, yo, Kai's more famous than most of these rappers. Check this out.
Right now, just let you know. What? That's making me look crazy. The exchange that we had in the hallway. It's
my bad, bro.
They running with it, but we'll talk later.
What do y'all think about this, man?
Now, he was talking to Snoop on the other side. Snoop is just a marginally more famous guy. Now, I played this recently, which was Kai Cenat kind of coming out and speaking on his mental health. Right. It's on his page right now.
Hello, everybody. I'm currently on my laptop right now, and I appreciate everybody who's been sending me birthday wishes, as today is my birthday. So I felt like it was the perfect day to be transparent and honest with you guys. A few days ago, I spread awareness on mental health and how important it is to take care of yourself. And honestly, for the past few months, I've been struggling with mental health out of self-doubt and fright of pursuing goals that I really want to achieve. And the reason I've really been in my head is because I just wanted to do more. I've gained to realize that I'm a true creator and I'm very passionate about creating. And I have other goals and things that I just want to achieve and do more of. And I would love to show you guys what I've been working on for the past few months through my more personal page, which is KC3 Hidden. I am going to go private soon on that page, so whoever gets in, but I just want to let you guys know that sometimes it is important to take care of your mental health. And honestly, it's been getting better. It has. But out of frustration and fear, I just been in my head for some reason. I never had this feeling before, but I want it to be known that I truly want to create. And I don't know if I'm getting mature or I'm just looking things at a broad point of view, but I am so passionate.
Okay, so that pretty much happens, and then Wale, I guess he saw that before he went on his new interview, and Wale has done an interview with Shannon Sharp where I want to hear how you guys think about this, but he basically said he feels like Kai gets it now, and listen to his conversation.
Cross it up, like you 20-year-old, like, you feel me? Like, that's what they acting like I did, and I'm like, yo, I'm just saying you made me look crazy. Like, I feel like uncomfortable in this room. But like, I'm like, at that moment, I'm like, damn, everybody making me the bid on the internet just because I was like, you know, like, just because he didn't. No, I was just confused. And then when they said I pressed him, I was like, oh, so that means I gotta leave. Like, I gotta go to my hotel for like a couple of days. Like, it was like not that. I don't expect I introduce myself at my meet and greet sometimes. Like, that's how I move. Like, I don't be like, you got to know who I am. I was upset for like 5 days in a row. So when he's talking about mental health at the Stream Awards, I'm like, yes, mental health. You get it now. Imagine giving your life to this game and then you go to the awards to just support the culture that you've been a part of for 13 years, and then so somebody who asks you to play a video, like, asks you, yeah, let's play one day, like, because you saw them last year, and then you go online and everybody's like, yo, Kai's not, he didn't know who you was, that was funny,
Wale, I fuck with you. Me and you've bonded recently when we both weren't fucking with Meek. Trust me, we're both laughing in the DMs. It's all good. But I do want to tell you, again, I'm only speaking and I'm not trying to disrespect you. Your mental health issues, and I'm not belittling them because I believe it, but it's different from what Kai's going through. I talked about it yesterday. It's what a creator goes through. And because you're a rapper, you have a different sense of understanding. I understand Kai and I relate to him more than I will relate to you. For you, your mental issues are going to come in terms of mental health, that you're working on your craft, this and third, and you want to kind of be accepted for it. And in moments where you're slighted, ignored, or this and third, or underappreciated, that does fuck with you because you've dedicated your life to it. The kind of, at least maybe a silver lining, and I don't know, maybe people will disagree and be like, nah, that's kind of still similar. With Kai, honestly, this is what streaming is. You give your life as entertainment to the point it drags the life force out of you, that when you're not streaming, you feel empty. And it's almost like you have to go through it. And when you do it for too much, and for a long enough period, you have to figure out what makes you happy, because it's a non-normal reality of being on stream consistently. When you went to that streamer award, right, or not streamer award, it was like Grammys, I believe. When you went there, you are Wale, the artist, but the man just trying to get acknowledged. Kai Cenat is this thing and this almost, and I hate to say it, and I hope he doesn't feel disrespected of how I'm going to characterize this. He's like this hamster on a wheel with cameras in front of him, just trying to get people to laugh and have a good time. So when you go to the award show, you get to just chill, and you walking in there with your Nintendo, whatever. He's in there like, how could I make an award show that is generally not appealing to my audience lit and fun? That's where the mental issues of most streamers are going to be. Because streaming is not a pre-planned, contrived thing. I'm telling you, I used to feel it. I would sit here for 4 hours, and I'm still looking at, did I do a good enough job? You get what I'm saying? Like, you're like, damn, they're used to this. I want to do this. And that's where I want to point out the difference between Kai. Kai jumped out of fucking plane. Nigga cut his hair. Then, not saying cutting your hair is a big thing, but like, I'm pretty sure Kai is trying to figure out what makes him happy outside of entertaining people. Because for the last 3 years of his life, as he's ascended to be the number one guy, and by the way, remember when I looked up his burner Instagram? He's at the height of clout. The dude gained 1.2 million followers in a day. When I first seen it yesterday, he was at 1 million. He's now at 2 million, 2.2. And that's the only difference I want to say. And I think Wale's trying to prove his point about mental health, because I do think Wale's went through some mental health stuff, but I don't think it's the same. Like, if Wale said that, hey, I've been an artist for so long, I've given my life to this, and I don't know, it's hard for me to switch in between being a father. I don't know if he has kids. Being a father or being like a brother and being whatever. That's what streamers are going through. When you see a nigga stream for 60 days, you can't even gain meaningful relationships in life with people and continue them if you're constantly on stream. So these people, they're going to go through a whole different arc of, self-doubt, mental health issues, and other things. Anyway, let me let Wale finish his point.
And you in a room full of your peers.
Right.
And I was like, wait, let me go holler at him real quick. And through my vantage point, I'm just like, yo, that made me look crazy, bro. Like, I just didn't like how I felt in the moment. I'm like, yo, bro, we come here to celebrate the culture, and I'm looking at all these people like, yo, he doesn't know who you are. It's so funny. And I'm watching all these people receive awards. It just was like, let me say something before I roll. And they took it as me pressing the youngin' out. And I'm like, bro, I got PTSD. I can't even look at them little cameras no more. I start sweating when I see them joints. I'll be looking at everybody. Anybody that has that archetype that could be on a Twitch, I'll be like,
make sure ain't no more there.
That's too, you know what I'm saying? But also, I think I wanted to make it a teachable moment. I wanted to go on the stream and talk about the generational divide and how that happened, and just have conversations around how the generations go, because it's it's a deep conversation we can have, and I've been dying to have that joint on stream with the people of both sides of the culture, because I mean he's accepted a role, whether he really planned or not, to be one of the voices in hip hop.
Correct.
Whether you like stuff or not, we still have to preserve the culture. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The guys who came before.
Actually, by the way, maybe me and Wale at some point will talk about this. I disagree with Wale again. If y'all take it upon yourselves to make Kai Cenat, and as Complex ranked him in the #1 media personality in hip hop, it's not like he signed up for it. So to feel like he needs to know the full history or the artists that have came up to build that sound or this particular part of hip hop, that's not what he's doing. He's just kind of like doing his thing. And that's where I blame the artists. They're trying to blame Kai. I blame them. Y'all have to have some understanding that a streamer is not a radio station. Kai knows hip hop, but he knows what he likes. He's never purported, nor does he care to know shit that he don't like, just for the sake of knowing. And I feel like artists don't want to take the accountability of saying, hey, we have no more options, so we have to go to Kai's stream. But you go in there because you're trying to get some buzz off him doesn't mean he needs to know all about you. Anyway, let me finish this.
For me, the Jeezys, the Jay-Z's, like the Ludacris is like, you know, like we preserve the culture. We preserve, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, you're older, you're before, like, you feel me? So that's what that was about. I wish I would have handled it differently, but at the same time, I definitely thought it could be a teachable moment because a lot of the artists that come from my era, they don't know how to interact with y'all because y'all act like y'all don't like nothing that don't sound a certain way or whatever. Like y'all like hip hop for a certain other reason. So some of them don't know how to talk to them, and some of them is like, oh, we getting money, we don't care about what y'all guys say. So, you know, the goal after that was to have a teachable moment, but we couldn't get a comment from our guy. So, well, shout out to him though, man.
Don't miss the rip on.
Okay. Why did I see some other shit that made Wale look a little crazy? Like, they said Wale stayed in a hotel, like, for extra days. Wale Hotel. Just to, you know, let me see. That got to be false, right? Let me see. By the way, we're going to get to Atlanta stuff next. He says he was so upset he didn't recognize me. He stayed in his hotel. Oh. Wait.
Like, talking about mental health. He didn't know who you was. That was funny. And you in a room full of your peers.
Right.
And I was like, wait, let me go holler at him real quick. And through my vantage point, I'm just like, yo, that made me look crazy, bro. Like, I just didn't like how I felt in the moment. I'm like, yo, bro, we come here to celebrate the culture, and I'm looking at all these people like, wow, roll. And they took it as me pressing the youngin' out. And I'm like, bro, I got PTSD. I can't even look at just have conversation, whether you like stuff or not, because a lot of the artists, so, you know, the goal after that was to have a teachable
Shannon to get $50.
Jay-Z, the generations. I'm just like, yo, I ask you to play a video, like, I don't be like, you got to know who I am.
Wait, where did he say that? Did I miss it? Probably did.
But like, I'm like, at that moment, I'm like, damn, everybody making me the bid on the internet just because I was like, you know, like just because he didn't. No, I was just confused. And then when they said I pressed him, I was like, oh, so that means I gotta leave. Like I gotta go to my hotel for like a couple of days. Like it was like not that.
That's the part.
I don't expect nobody.
Okay. These captions are misleading. It makes it seem like, yo, he stayed in his hotel, like stalking Kai to be like, Kai, you don't know me? Like, okay. All right. That's misleading then. That's misleading. All right. That's the Wale and Kai Cenat stuff. We got to get to the main topic, and thank you guys if you guys are have waited up for me. I appreciate you guys. We're going for a 30 for 30, and I absolutely adore you guys for, you know, being here and so supportive of me. So today got kicked off in a very interesting way. Now, I don't know if these tweets have been deleted, but we're going to start from the get-go. All right? Let's see. All right, bet. One thing I like about Savage, he doesn't delete tweets. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, and I want to give you my perspective. Okay? So yesterday, you know, everybody's on me. Yo, Ack, when are you going to post the sales projections for 21 Savage, this and third? Which, by the way, I did post it. Shit, I ain't going to lie to you. You know who called me? It was like, Ack, you better post it because I'm on his ass. I'm on his British ass. We're going to get the tea. Like, he's always got some joke. He trying to 6ix9ine or something like, yo, you got to post it. Because he just wants to be in the comment section strolling, right? And I said I did post it. I got a new page. It's called Chartdemics. Okay. If you guys care about your favorite rappers' numbers, who's selling, who's flopping, who's botting, we have random arbitrary stats. There are times, this album has been number 1 for this amount of weeks. You can see it about any artist. Like, for example, you could see it about Mariah Carey. You could even see it about comedians, and then even down to Taylor Swift. Okay? So we have launched, and this is, again, within the Academy network. So people expect, there's a group of people that blame me for introducing numbers to the local fan that people now keep saying flopping, right? Be like, yo, you flopped. And I disagree. I think 50 did back in the day, but they're saying that, you're the one who's kind of done it over the last 10 years. You're like, hey, this person's on pace. Granted, there's chart data and all these type of things, right? So people were getting on me yesterday. They say, yo, Ack, you better post this shit, man, about Savage, right? And, we talked about it on stream. Savage is on pace to do about like 55,000 records first week with the album called What Happened to the Streets. And, again, just to show you the proof, we did tweet about it. And the tweet is here. You're going to see it. And, by the way, I want to keep it fair. I have a team, but I authorized and I put this tweet out because I want it to be fair. Okay? 21 Savage, What Happened to the Streets, is on pace to sell 53K first week. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I put that out, and obviously, whatever, it was quick and swift. But there was other pages posting their own shit too. I noticed instantly I guess he deleted it. No, he didn't. Future tweeted around the same time. The biggest in the shit. Interesting. Now, obviously, I thought this was random. I think a lot of people were looking at like, is that a little shady? I was getting told from fan pages and other people, yo, there's something there. I kind of dismissed it. But today, I seen Savage send off a whole bunch of tweets. Before we get to the tweets where he calls people's names out, so right when 21 Savage's predictions come out, Future, who hasn't tweeted for a while, randomly tweets out the biggest in this shit. Okay? At like, it was pretty much 30 minutes after the projections came out. He says, biggest in the shit. Then we see 21 Savage kind of come back a few hours, and then he tweets out, for the ones that don't get it right now, it'll sink in later. I was lost too. But he says in his tweet, the realest in it, with the emoji. Now, I didn't know these two were, possibly either talking to each other or whatever, but I realized Future used his emoji, Savage used his emoji, and I'm like, okay, but they might just be piggybacking off what each other says. Then Savage seems to make it a little bit more obvious. The biggest change all the time. Future said the biggest. Interesting. Now, I was confused. I hit Savage a few times. Didn't get him. And I get it. He's doing his album promo shit. But of course, I got to do me. Now, from what we know from the jail calls, and we're gonna get into this a little bit later too, because he sent off a bunch of tweets. We don't see Savage tweet this much, so clearly he wanted to get some point across. Like last year, was it last year when these jail calls came out, or was it earlier this year? Everybody was saying Savage is like this real ass nigga, this and third, which, you know what I mean, I believe as well. You know, shit. Truth be told, you know, and I'll be very transparent. My relationship with Savage, anytime me and him are on the phone, man, half the time we're not even talking about music. He's one of the only people who I feel like, I remember he went to Jamaica not too long ago. We found out, I know y'all keep with the British joke, but we found out that his family's actually like family's from Jamaica. His family's from the same parish as mine. Savage was like literally probably like 15 minutes from where I grew up in Jamaica. And he kept calling me because he wanted to find out if his family was related to my family. Because that would be kind of crazy because, shit, we're kind of cool, but like we could have ended up being related. Maybe like second, third, fourth cousin. Who knows? And that's how, if you've ever been to like some type of country type place, they'd be like, yo, do you know the Simmons? So he's calling me, do you know this? Do you know that? And I only say that to say to y'all, my relationship with Savage isn't really just a music relationship. And I have usually mostly music relationships with, where if something happened to me or if I wasn't like, talking about music, they wouldn't reach out to me. So that's why I say that. And I've always looked at him as someone who's really, he's never like giving me an image. Like there's certain rappers when I get on the phone with, I'm getting a rapper. Like Savage will call me and he'll debate me like he's a chat nigga, like because he watches the streams. I fuck with him. And I say that to say because my understanding of him as a person is different. But that doesn't also make for me to be picking up for his music either. Right? Like he's said it before, like, we cool, but like you like other people's music more than mine. It's fine. I don't care. Right? So I'm giving you the context of how I've ever seen Savage from my lens. Because if you also look at what I said, and some people probably thought it was corny or whatever, but he eventually tweeted out, he said, last year I was the realest nigga for trying to stop Thug from exposing Gunna, but now I'm fake. Now, I don't know where he's getting that from. The reason why I responded and I said, you're the realest, is because I've only seen him do real shit that rappers wouldn't do. Do you get what I'm saying? I'll give you examples. 21 Savage is really good friends with Meek Mill. 21 Savage, obviously, I don't know what their conversation is, but clearly Meek was not liking me, was probably really hating me at a point. 21 Savage put me on the phone with him and said, yo, listen. And he said to Meek, Meek, I fuck with this guy right here. I fuck with you, but I fuck with him right here. And I want you guys to talk and figure it out. I'm going to sit here on the phone with y'all. And I'm going to be honest with you, I respected that. I respected that a lot. In any situation where he's ever been cool with someone, and by the way, it gives more context to me in how he deals with everything, because y'all give me what y'all think. And this is what he also told me. And this is really shit. He said, yo, listen. He says, before I let two people I fuck with get to the point where they do some shit that where someone gets hurt that I gotta pick a side, I'm always gonna try to put them on the phone, get them together. I think that's some real shit. I think, I don't think the conversation about Savage, nobody's ever acted or put out like he's pussy. No, like that would be the furthest from any conversation happening. But when you hear the leaked tapes to anything, Savage is always the person saying, yo, let's get these people together. He got Metro on the phone with Drake. He's trying to squash that. He's the one. And I know some people felt that, well, you said the Thug on the call. Man, well, why don't you, man, how about you don't just disavow him? Just use Gunna and you can make money off of him. Some people didn't like that. However, the overall point, yo, listen, even just treat it as business, but don't shit on his career and try to kill it. I've never seen any artist beyond Savage who seems to be trying to bridge a gap with other artists that got issues that don't necessarily got to do with him. However, what has to do with him is that he's friends with all of these people. Now, in my opinion, and this is why I said I feel like that's real. In my opinion, I heard the jail call, and by the way, he didn't think that was coming out. Doug didn't think that was coming out. So when he was trying to, like, do I got to play the call? He says to Thug, he says, man, Slime, I don't really think I don't think it's like that, but I get it. And this is one thing, and when it comes to like street stuff, like me and him ain't talk because he don't really give a fuck about my opinion. I'm a logic guy. So like, he's a smart guy, so he would talk to me about logic shit. He's not gonna be like, yo, Akil, what you think about this street shit? No, if we ever mention that, it's not gonna be something we both agree on because we're not the same people. Like, he's a street nigga, I'm not, but he's logical too. So, if you ask me, I actually believe that when it comes to the majority of issues, and I haven't heard anything yet. And if y'all could tell me y'all hear anything yet, and no, this is my one blame to Savage, and I never told him this, so I don't know if he'll ever hear this, but because he doesn't ask my opinion about it. But I would say this to him. This is his one thing. I could tell he's a loyal nigga. And sometimes when you're loyal, you become loyal to a fault. And the reason why I wouldn't say that to him is because I know. And it's been situation. I've been around Savage where I'm also around people that hate my guts, but on Savage word, everything is cool. You know why? Because he's telling them, I know, maybe Ak is all the way wrong in y'all minds, but that's my nigga. That's a loyal person. And that's what I think the internet is not understanding. Now, I'm not here just to preach for Savage. Just to let y'all know. But I'm trying to give some context because today, and I was trying to get in contact with him like the whole day, I was trying to figure out a lot of these things. I was trying to figure out, all right, why are you even tweeting? Right? Because at first I was like, I hope you're not tweeting because of people reacting to the sales. And that's not what I believe it is. I've said this about Atlanta before. I believe there's a lot of fractured relationships. There's a lot of people having to either pick a side or been forced to pick a side that has fucked up the entire ecosystem, and not just about music. It's also fucked it up about how these people carry themselves, and I think it's gotten to the point of morally where they're like, yo, listen, I'm not a fake nigga. And that's why we're getting a very interesting outlook on everything. So let's start with the obvious. And I want to be very clear here because, you know, sometimes I feel like because people feel like I'm cool with him, they think I'm not his mouthpiece. And by the way, he might not be happy with some of the things I say because it just going to be is what it is. And some of the stuff I don't know, right? Like I don't know some of the street shit. But his series of tweets today gave more insight than him being on all those calls because I realized, and this is what I was saying about Baby, and I'm not trying to throw it on nobody else, pause. I was very interested to see, and I think people been trolling about it, oh, y'all just scared of Thug. Does anyone not have the same idea or opinion of Thug about all of this stuff with Gunna and everybody else? Because I do think that's part of why people are looking at things the way they are. This is why I believe you had Rollo, you had Woody, you had all these people almost like banding together saying, no, Thug is manipulating everyone. He's dividing people. He's putting people against whoever. He's making this guy don't want to work with this guy. Rollo came out and said, yo, me and Baby work very cool, but Thug made sure he could. So I started looking, I'm like, are these guys controlled by Young Thug? I think that's had a trickle-down factor where fans are looking at like, well, if these guys have their own mindset. And by the way, and again, Savage, please don't be mad at me. But, you know, we could talk. But I'm going to be honest. I think Savage tweeting today was the equivalent of Wham not picking up the phone. Because I believe that the internet is looking at both guys as being able or being like some pawns or like guys who don't have their own brain and they're just going on whatever Thug's orders are. But going back to what I said, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's loyalty. Both of these guys were sending money, from what I heard, to Thug and his family, talking to him almost every day. If your man tells you, yo, this is the situation, out of loyalty, you defend him, especially when he's at his lowest moment. You ever heard a thing where it says, you know somebody's your man's where if y'all in the club and you step on somebody's shoes and they push you and y'all get into a fight, your man gonna just, he might knock a nigga out for you, this, that, and third. That's how he's supposed to get down. Now, when y'all all go into the car, he gonna be like, bro, didn't I tell you, bro, just stay in the section? Why you go over there? You stepping on niggas' shoes and shit. That's why we fighting. But in the moment, he ain't supposed to be like, yo, well, I ain't gonna jump in this one because I know it's loyalty. And to me, that's what I felt Baby and Savage were also thinking about. But we never heard them vocalize it. We still haven't heard Baby vocalize it. We heard Thug say pick up the phone, but we haven't heard him say anything in terms of acknowledging that. I felt like, and I'm jumping ahead here because I'm going to really intricately break all this down as best as I've seen it, because I was going down a rabbit hole because I was just like y'all. I don't know if this was y'all. I felt like all these Atlanta niggas got along. I thought they all loved each other. So some of these tweets are like confusing me. So yeah. Let's start from the beginning. I seen News Made It posted. And this is where I go. I don't know if you guys follow this page. You should. It's a really good page. A lot of times you can see I come with my Atlanta stuff. I get it from them. Or I got a few niggas in Atlanta. They might call me and tell me some shit. I'll be honest, right? They identified it really quickly when they posted Future shit yesterday. The biggest in the shit. Then they posted Savage shit, the realest in the shit, and the biggest change all the time. It made me really interested in possibly knowing if Savage and Future, if there's an issue there. I don't know. I thought all these Atlanta niggas got along. I mean, I guess now they don't like Gunna, but I thought everybody got along. So I started doing some digging. And I'm on Instagram and people say, nah, yo, you could go on YouTube and see like they have. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know Future and Thug had an issue at one time. Remember when they were tweeting at each other? Does anybody remember that? Young Thug, Future, beef. It was on Twitter, actually. It was an internet argument. Apparently it was ignited by Metro interest about mixtape culture. I remember it was like, boy, slow down with dropping all that trash. Remember that? So every day I wake up, new mixtapes are falling out of the sky. And he said, yo, who you talking to? I said, put some names on that shit, little boy. He said, nigga, music can never sound nowhere like mine's. I think you guys were, I think if you guys were to stop drinking so much cheap liquor and high-tech syrup, you'd be able to think before speaking and typing. Future jumped in. Yo, you'll never have the juice like that. Thug said, what juice? So, okay. Oh, the juice that Metro ran with. Oh, okay. Then he says, shit like this made me realize these niggas are really sitting in the studio together throwing subliminals on their own teammates. Metro said, you got to be crazy if you think I subtweeted Thug. That's corny. People are allowed to believe what they want, though. True or not. Metro then says, Thug, I'm in the city at the spot right now, bro. And we know each other in real life, so you can pull up whenever, cuz. You know I ain't no hoe. Then Thug said, Metro, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, fool. One thing I like about Thug, he ain't deleting nothing. Then he put a smiley face. Wow. Now, that escalated a little bit more. Do y'all remember when it was like slowed down on dropping? Future had said, yo, boy, Young Thug said that. Said, boy, slow down on dropping all that BS music. That's when Future was dropping a lot. Now, eventually that shit got squashed, right? It got squashed. Look, we could probably get here and get some. I covered it too.
Right, cool. You feel me?
Okay. Too much FaceTime, brother. So cool. Now, we also got to remember, Thug was talking about Future on these jail calls recently. So I'm trying to figure out. Oh, look. Oh, yeah, I know. Look. Future says. Oh,
it's
man.
Not, but fuck it. We ball. Now, we also retweeted a fan that said, rest in peace to Metro Thuggin. That's a pop.
Okay. Yeah. I was getting all that shit. Now, what happened after that, right? I don't know. Let's look. 21 Savage, Future, beef. Do they have beef? I don't know. Now, okay. You know, so I was looking if they had issues. And when I was looking if they had issues, the first thing I looked at was collabs. So I said, how many times have they collabed with each other? Future 21 Savage song. And they did have a song, which was during the mixtape era for Savage, called X, right? I'm fucking on my ex bitch, right?
Flexing on it.
Yeah.
It's on fleet.
Yeah.
Ex bitch.
Yeah.
When you were.
Yep. All right, cool. But ever since then, we really haven't seen Savage and Future collab at all, which is kind of interesting. Obviously, Gunna and Future is collabed, and Young Thug and Future is collabed, and Savage and Gunna collabed, and Savage and Thug collabed. But really, we haven't seen, since that debut project, we haven't really seen. Is this a real song? Let me see.
I'm done. Apologize.
All the way up to your jaw. Step on the swag when I step on a bra. $2.50. Ooh, that's the cheap.
Yeah, I don't think this is a real song. Yeah, this is not a real song. So I've been looking at, it looks like it's about been like 6-7 years we haven't seen any meaningful collaborations with Future and Savage, which I would imagine if they're all in Atlanta and everybody get along to a certain extent, we would see it. Like, people were thinking there was issues with Baby and Savage, and Baby and Savage got a record on Savage's album. So even if there was an issue, which I see Reddits and whatever speculate about it, they clearly are working together, but we haven't seen anything with Future and Savage, and that's where I'm trying to figure out where the problem is, if there was a problem. I don't know. Actually, let me see. Where would have it? Because, chat, there's nothing that's really like coincidence. Trust me. There gotta be a documentary somewhere. By the way, I remember when Savage came on my podcast in 2021, he bigged up Future. Yo, he bigged up Future more than Jay-Z. Listen to this.
If I wasn't a rapper, I don't feel like I still would listen to Drake for real. It's just I'm a rapper, so I understand the work he put in now, like how hard he go.
Wait,
like when you ain't no rapper, all them statistics don't mean shit. A regular street nigga don't give a fuck about how many times you went #1, like how many white people listen to your shit, because they don't even think that them niggas, the farthest they think is the club. Who's selling this club out? That's who they think is the biggest niggas. Like in Atlanta, it's a lot of niggas who you really can't tell them Future ain't bigger than Drake.
I would say this cap, but really?
On God, nigga. I used to think that Drake ain't really no big mixtape artist like that. How you got all your Drake albums, you probably really went in the store and bought them motherfuckers. Every Future album I ever heard was a bootleg. Niggas was bootlegging it or going to live mixtapes. So when nothing was the same or whatever, or all that type of shit came out, nigga ain't knowing how to get to that shit.
So he basically said that Future was, and I think that was the longer thing. We don't have to watch the whole thing. He was basically saying Future, people look at Future like they look at Drake in Atlanta. And I was a little bit shocked. They haven't worked together at all. And there was like, I don't know, hold on. I don't think there was beef between them. Oh, a year ago. 21 Savage and Future beef explained. Let's hear this.
Welcome to In the Know.
Hell no.
Here today, you definitely. And Future got upset with Drake for doing the.
No. We need a better. We need a better. That nigga sound. Oh, Clem shares story why they're not cool. Okay. Who's this guy?
So when they go to handcuff, he started yelling like a bitch. Help! Help! Nigga, y'all on trial with a RICO, nigga. Everything y'all doing is f***ing up Thug even more. If it one nigga that got took down by his crew, it was that nigga.
Okay.
Do you think They were saying that Drake's dissed the original when he was going at Future, like shooting like some little subliminals.
I mean, he probably was going that Future because anybody that know the real deal about down in Atlanta and what goes on in music, just period, you got to understand. This is all allegedly, but in my eyes, Future didn't like when Drake went and did an album with 21 Savage. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know, what motherfuckers do collab album with.
Now, I've heard that. Being honest, I've heard that from like just random people. I've heard that from industry people. Which, like, industry niggas have told me, like, yo, Future took that as a diss. Like, yo, why you gonna do a collab album with another Atlanta rapper when you came and did one with me? I'm still a little bit like skeptical about that because why the fuck would Future care? Future did mad like collab albums, right? He did one with Thug, right? Did he do a collab album with Thug? Future collab. Yeah, Super Slimy, right? With Young Thug. Yeah, he did one with Young Thug, Super Slimy, right? Then he did one with Juice WRLD too, right? Juice WRLD. World on Drugs. Let me see, how many does Future have? He's had 4. One with Thug, one with Juice WRLD, one with Uzi. Then he has a couple with 2 with Metro, but he also has What a Time to Be Alive with Drake. So at least 6 or 7. So this isn't all the way accurate. Why the fuck would he care if Drake, if he has 6 or 7, Drake literally only has 3 collab albums. One with Future, one with Party Next Door, and one with Savage. Why would that be the thing?
Motherfuckers, they put that shit into the high statue. Like, me and you gonna do collab album for the rest of our lives. You know what I'm saying? This is something big, something ain't nobody never done. Drake and Future. And then next thing you know, Drake do a whole one with 21 Savage. And the word that I got, it's all allegedly, I don't know, the word I got, you know, Free Bands and 21 Savage crew, they don't get along. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I hear, you know. It's allegedly some shit went down. Motherfucker sold somebody a condo. And when they bought the condo, they didn't know the nigga kept the keys and the door opener and all that shit to get in. So when the other nigga went out of town, the nigga that sold the condo to him went back in there and took shit.
What?
That's all alleged. That's what I'm hearing.
Damn.
I've never heard that. That's the first time I heard that, Chad. Okay, but all right. Now, we're keeping this alleged here, Chad. We're keeping this alleged. We're working through all this. We're getting through all the tweets. But instantly this morning, when I seen this, I'm like, well, I seen it yesterday with Future's tweet. I'm like, is Future kind of reacting to the news that Savage is selling 53K? But I'm like, why the fuck would Future be just doing that? Then I seen Savage's shit. I'm like, okay, Savage is responding. So now I'm like, Atlanta's had us fooled for a long time that, you know, maybe everybody aren't the best of friends, but we never know the real stories. We never really know the real stories. So we got to find the real stories. I don't know who this guy is. You got to hear it from either the horse's mouth themselves, or you got to hear it from some niggas who be knowing the niggas that be around the niggas. I don't know if he's one of them.
Damn, so that's some underlying. So it's like some street. This ain't got nothing to do with
it. And by the way, when we were hearing, even part of the reason that Future supposedly was mad at Drake, it was supposedly, yo, you dissed me because you came to Atlanta and did a collab album with another nigga. Now, I always thought, well, how does that other nigga feel, or how do you feel about that other nigga if it's put like this. Imagine, all right, me and 6ix9ine were friends. 6ix9ine gives me all the interviews. one day 6ix9ine comes out and he says, yo, I'm doing an interview with DJ Vlad. And I'm thinking, yo, you doing an interview with DJ Vlad? Man, nigga, fuck you for that. If that's how I feel, not only would I feel entitled to all 6ix9ine interviews, I might also probably look at DJ Vlad like, man, you gonna do some shit with that ain't shit nigga? So, okay.
Yeah, some street shit, but, you know, egos, you know. So this was Future chance to go at the nigga. And I fuck with Future.
Yeah.
Future the realest nigga to me. Future Future, he ain't cuffing no bitches. You can't find you show me where Future cuffing a bitch. That nigga fucking them hoes and keeping them moving.
Have you ever ran into Future? Got any Future stories?
No, I've been in the studio with Future a few times.
Man, speaking of like that whole thing, ATL, have you been keeping up with the whole YSL?
Okay. You know, I've been skeptical about that. I wish Future would speak on it. You see, Future don't do interviews. And I wish he did. Because it would sound crazy if he would be mad that Drake did a collab album with Savage, knowing that, yo, niggas, Savage is over
in
here.
Atlanta.
Savage is over here saying you're better than Drake. Like, Savage is low-key glazing. Like, or at least at that time, he's fucking glazing. Yo, Future's the best. So, like, you should want to be happy for him.
It's a lot of niggas who you really can't tell them Future ain't bigger than Drake.
I would say it's cap.
Oh God, nigga. I used to think that.
Why Future hates 21 Savage?
Have you heard that Future hates 21 Savage because of what Drake
Sure, that's a crazy picture.
did? Because of what Drake did. For those who don't know, there is a beef between Future and Drake, particularly related to Drake's collaboration with 21 Savage on the album, Her Loss. Future felt overshadowed by 21 Savage and Drake's project because Drake delayed a joint project with Future in favor of 21 Savage. Future was upset with Drake for doing an album with 21.
Oh, shit. No, hold on. Y'all remember when Future Drake... Remember when they announced What a Time to Be Alive 2? There's a video. There's a video of them doing it. Wait. Do y'all remember that? Okay, that might make sense, but why would you be mad at Savage? You should be mad at Drake. What a Time to Be Alive 2. Here we go. They had announced it. Announce. It was like with some change or something. Fuck. Look, oh, here we go. He posted a snippet of What a Time to Be Alive 2. Here we go.
Usual. Niggas swear they pack.
No. No, that's What a Time to Be Alive 1. It was something about a free band's OVO chain. Drake, Future, FBG OVO chain. That's what it is. Chat, I remember everything like... Wait, fuck, that's not it. I remember. Do y'all remember? That's when they were hinting like, yo, we're about to run it up again. Does anybody remember that? Like 100%. I remember they had shown off like a chain, and like you could tell like they were almost teasing like, yo, we're about to come back again with another like part 2. Look, they're teasing it. Here we go.
What's that? We gotta cook that up. That too.
It's already cooked.
Yeah, it's already cooked.
Top secret.
Yeah. My brother.
Top secret.
FVG OVO. Unruly.
Okay. And there's some of the chain. I remember it, chat, bro. I'm telling you, I got a great memory. Okay, so look like Drake, you know, and by the way, it's Drake, man. Like, you know, yeah, Drake probably told me, yo, listen, we're doing What a Time to Be Alive 2. And I would imagine, I understand if Future's like, Future probably took it as a big diss. We don't do What a Time to Be Alive 2, and you go to Atlanta and grab another rapper, and you think you're going up with him? I can see it. I can see it. Where's that one video? I can't find it. Okay. But they definitely were teasing that. By the way, can I ask y'all a question? What do y'all think is a better project? What a Time to Be Alive or versus Her Loss? What do y'all think was a better project? Oh, shit. I tweeted this 2 years ago? Yo, bro, I be forgetting my own tweets. What's the Drake, the GOAT Drake collab project? Now we got to put in some sexy songs for you. You remember when people kept posting this shit with me? What do you think was the best one? Anyway. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, cool. So Future had bought Drake an icy FBG ring. It's an FBG OVO ring. Okay. Look like they definitely were getting ready to go do some shit. Okay, so this is making sense now. Let's go back to this guy. Where's the guy? Fuck. Oh, no. Oh, we're listening to this, right?
Savage project because Drake delayed a joint project with Future in favor of 21 Savage. Future was upset with Drake for doing an album with 21 Savage, as it made their collaborative album less significant in comparison, so he decided to diss Drake on his new album with Metro Booming titled
There got to be a history to this. I feel like that guy that mentioned the apartment thing. I've never heard that before, honestly. Never heard that before. Are there no documentaries about this? That's the thing about Atlanta. Even if there's issues, there's no documentary out there.
Rank these lyricists from Atlanta 1 through 5. You got Future, Baby, JID, Young Thug. That's you.
1 through 5.
1 through 5.
I'm number 1. Based off of lyrics, yeah, I'm number 1. Lyrics, Jid number 2. Thug number 3. Baby number 4. Pluto number 5. Just off of lyrics.
Okay, he got Future in there. He got Future in there. The thing is, we don't have... Yo, when's the last Future interview we had? Future interview. The last interview is the one... I remember it. The last interview was like 10 years ago he's done. Or maybe it was Click. No, he did one afterwards. That was the one I think he was complaining about Russell Wilson or some shit. Obviously, these don't count. 10 essentials you can't live without type shit. When's the last time we had a Future interview? Was it 6 years ago? I don't think that's... Yeah. I'm talking about a real interview. I don't know. Oh, this was the...
Like Jay-Z say, playing football in the future.
What you would have done in the future.
I didn't mean it like that. Like, and I was just like, you supposed to be bigging up the rap community. You need to let the NFL deal with the NFL.
Right.
You supposed to be bigging up me. Anything. Right. We come from the trenches.
Together.
I come from the streets, you come from the streets. You supposed to be bigging me up.
Right.
You supposed to be giving that no.
Yeah, that's the last time there was like a real interview of him.
Rank these lyricists from Atlanta 1 through 5.
I can't find too much on it.
5.
So maybe if y'all have like a documentary, let me know. 21 Savage, Future Big Bank. What did he say about Future in the Big Bank interview? Didn't he mention Future in there? I don't know. Anyway, all right. Am I tripping? Oh, SG Tip stole from FBG. Are you serious? How do you know this? SG Tip. Future don't like 21 because what happened to Lil Marlo? Check Atlantaology. Oh, it's banned? What the fuck? Atlanta. Wait. What's the Atlanta Reddit? Chat, we're going to get to everything. We're just trying to figure out, do they have a beef? Does Future and Savage have a beef? We're going to get to the apology, too. What the fuck is this? Okay. 21 Savage. Future. Allegedly, the guy who shot 21 Savage and... What? What the fuck? Yeah, this should be like mad federal when you go on Reddit. Okay. 13 hours ago, Future and 21. Okay, that's Future officially clearing beef allegations with 21. Okay, let's read what the fuck that's about. Hold on. Chat, this is how you figure out shit. You figure out like what's been happening in music. It says they said this was 8 months ago. Y'all wearing that allegedly shit out. If it ain't confirmed, why you talk about it? Somebody said it's deep in the suburbs. What? I was happy to hear that too. Well, what was said or done to clear the beef allegations? Then there was never beefing for real. Heard Zone 6 featuring Pluto with Nudie. That's what I said. They got real Atlanta beef. If you're not in the A, you don't know this. All these Ricos going around, of course, are going to play cool. What? Hold on, I'm going to get to this shit. All right, I can't find it, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, any Atlanta person who wanna like put me on some game, I'm wondering. There got to be something behind the Future and Savage thing, but it's okay since we can't find it for now. Let's continue because that's what we got to do, right? So what ended up happening, and I don't want to like give you spoilers of what eventually kind of seemingly escalated real quick. Savage, after, kind of seemingly taking some sneak dissing or responding to Future and sneak dissing him with the biggest change all the time and I'm the realest in it. He then sent out a bunch of tweets where he mentions people. And let's go through these because this is going to be the important part. He says, Gunna and Thug. He mentions both of them. He says, y'all niggas fix that shit. Y'all love each other. Nigga, you knew Gunna wasn't no gangster when he told the first time. What the fuck? Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, chat. This was one of the most flagrant ones. I think when I seen this, I tried to call Savage's phone, but his phone was off. I ain't gonna lie to you, chat. Because, truth be told, and I love Savage, this ain't make too much sense. What do you mean by you knew Gunna wasn't a gangster when he told the first time? How many times did he tell? You knew he wasn't. Listen, what threw me off was when he told the first time. Chat, how we thought this was the first time Gunna told? How many times did he tell? Yo, he's talking about Gunna like he's an habitual teller. He's a blabbermouth. He's a serial snitch. He's like, what the fuck? Now, it had me going to Google. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I just Googled shit verbatim. How many times did Gunna tell? Yeah, I'm sorry. Chat, I don't got the patience no more. Oh, shit. Gunna snitching on CNN. Oh, that's what they talking about. The Crime Stopper shit. Whose music is that? Come on, cut it out. So the one we know is this.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, is this the first time he told or the second? I don't know. I can't keep up. By the way, is this even snitching? Yo, ever since I heard, this is my new hero. You want to know my new hero? Well, I don't like what he did, but like, I feel like I like hypocrites as long as they're so blatant with their hypocrisy. Who cares? Look, listen to this. This is my new hero. Here we go.
But when the case come around and the trial come around, Scotty D out there in this lady house. They done drunk water in this lady house.
God.
That's collaborating all this evidence.
Here we
go. I told, but Butter collaborated on this here. I snitched. I told, but Butter, that's collaborating all this evidence. But everybody's missing all this. It's just that somebody snitched. Somebody this here. I snitched. I told, but Butter collaborated all this evidence. I'm different.
Oh, here we go.
And Queso got arrested the same day.
Here we go.
I don't feel like I snitched. I told.
Yo, chat. I cracked, but I ain't fuck. I fucked my side hoe, but I ain't cheat. I ain't gonna lie, I love this logic. This is my favorite type of logic. Yo, did you crack? Of course. Oh, yo, Act fucked her. I ain't say I fucked. I ain't cracked. No, I cracked. I ain't fucked.
I don't feel like I snitched. I told. It's a goddamn difference.
I ain't tell the truth, but I ain't lie. I ain't tell the truth, but I ain't lie. I fucked the other bitch, but I ain't cheat. Yeah, I cracked, but I ain't fucked. I like this shit. This one of them ones, still. Somebody said, yo, y'all wasn't scared. I was just frightened. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. Give me some more, chat. Give me some more. Give me some more. Let me see who got the best ones. Yo, I ain't skinny, but I ain't fat. I ain't skinny though, but I ain't fat. Yeah, I like this. Yo, this is my type of logic right here. Oh, when I pulled up, like, the pussy wasn't wet, but it wasn't dry. It wasn't dry. Chat. The pussy wasn't wet, but it wasn't dry. It wasn't dry. Yeah, I like this logic. The pussy wasn't wet, but that don't mean it was dry. Okay, yeah, it's a difference. Yo, I finished, but I wasn't done. Yeah, that's a good one. Yo, I finished, but I wasn't done, y'all. I wasn't done. Yo, did you finish? Yeah, I finished, but I wasn't done. I wasn't done. I like that. Yo. Y'all wasn't horny, but my dick was just hard. My bad. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yo, I had no money. But I wasn't broke. I like that too. I smoke weed, but I don't get high. It's a difference. I smoke weed, but I don't get high. If you say I get high, that's false. You say I smoke weed, that's true. Y'all drink liquor, but I don't get drunk. That's the difference. This is a new mentality right here, chat. I like how he said it confidently, too. Chat, we got to watch. Yo, he has a new part. I don't know if Sean Cotton just was titling it crazy. Yo, chat, we got to watch this. Remind me. We got to watch this when we get off. This new one. Queso Dad, when Fulio died, we threw a pizza party in jail. Oh, my God. What type of captions are these, bro? We got to watch this later. Anyway, let's get back to this. Okay. So Gunna's on his, yo, I ain't snitched. I just told. Shit, right? Anyway, Savage comes out and says, yo, both y'all fix this. You knew Gunna wasn't no gangster when he told the first time. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Do y'all remember the Big Bang interview with Thug? Young Thug speaks on Gunna. This reminded me that there was a glaring issue with Thug speaking about Gunna. He says in the interview, we accepted you after you did bad the first time.
Oh, what? Everybody, whoever they go what, nigga? Doing certain shit, and I look at you and a man like, boy, that nigga, and then I find out it ain't really nothing you can say to me. Yeah. I'ma just look at you like you broke a man code. You broke a code that men with backbone stand up to. You broke that code. You can talk, you can say whatever you want to say. You broke a man code. I don't look at you the same. But in real life, I don't even want to hear what you got to say, but you still supposed to be a real nigga to say, I'm finna say it. In the near future, you can't do no interview and say, I ain't got his number. I ain't got it. Did what it is, bro.
Yeah. So basically,
I don't like, bro, imagine nigga, bro, we fighting to say YSL is not a game and it must end. If you rocking with it, you gotta explain this to niggas that I love, that look at me like a gangster, that look at me like a man.
Yeah.
It's niggas in this world that's gonna be like, boy, what the fuck is you doing?
Yeah.
Do y'all know what part of the interview that is? So he was talking about Gunna, and he said, we took you in after you did bad the first time.
That you can for me. So what? Everybody, whoever they, so what, nigga? I don't got no problem with people. People work for me right now.
Yeah. The Gunna. Let me see.
Gotta say this in this plea. But when you the ones who you think got the scent, like
He let Roscoe get on there and stir that pot.
hometown of niggas who stick together. So that's what I'm on. Everybody, ask Wham, ask Savage. I got them on the phone to start their beef. And other niggas. I got a lot of niggas on the phone to talk about a lot of shit. I got goddamn Lil Key and Ola Rant on the phone. Hey, bro. Me and Goo out motherfucking big homies in this shit, man. In this rap game, man. We goddamn, we real niggas, man. We big homies of the rap community. Like, we ain't doing that. A strip club. Don't sign that deal with P. And his daughter, your dad. I respect that part.
Do y'all know what I'm talking about, though? That's one of the parts that kind of like threw me for a loop. And I guess Savage, Savage is a reasonable guy. So I know y'all might be like, yo, this makes Savage look crazy. But I think he's trying to say, yo, Thug. Fuck what Gunna is saying. We knew he wasn't like that because we stuck up for him after he snitched the first time. Now, we're going to have to figure out when he snitched the first time. So y'all niggas fix that shit. Y'all love each other. You knew he wasn't no gangster when he told the first time. And we swept it under the rug for you. You know he wasn't trying to leave you to hang, nigga. Fuck the streets. We ain't get shit but trauma from it. So he's basically saying, yo, you should know Gunna snitching first time. I'm just type in first time. Like, look. Oh, this is it? Let's go back to it.
Is on trial for murder.
You know what I'm saying? I learned that he's talking to the Crime Stopper niggas. Or is he, because he's saying the people who, So that was Gunna telling the first time. Two years ago, Savage speaking on Gunna.
I don't know what it is, but I don't know how the hell I'm getting fat because I'm pescatarian, but saw whatever they saw, heard whatever they heard, and went and made music based off of that. But when I say something about how I really feel about Atlanta, like where I'm from, it's like a lot of gun violence, a lot of killings and shootings. That shit is catchy. People like it. So it's like, what would y'all rather, like, attention, like, oh, disagree with what I'm saying? Can somebody tell me why?
All right, he ain't speaking directly to it.
Look, give me some McDonald's. When you come back, I might remember something. Can you do that?
Oh yeah, Big Mac fries.
So the telling is...
Did Gunna snitch? Short answer, yes. Long answer, definitely. He confirmed YSL is a gang.
When did he snitch the first time? Is it the other thing? The Crime Stoppers? Okay, cool, whatever. Let's keep going with the tweets. He then tweets to Lil Baby. He says, yo, you're one of the realest young niggas out this shit. Admit Slime was moving the goalposts and we were standing behind him because we love him, my brother. Now, I'm here to try to explain this. I've seen people tweet at me thinking that Savage was saying that, yo, we moved the goalposts for young Thug. No, he's actually saying that, which, yo, the snitching argument where everybody has to be perfect is so tough. Because what Savage is actually saying is that, yo, we kind of rode for Thug out of loyalty when we felt like this guy was not a candidate or a member of the street. We allowed him to kind of portray that, but we knew he wasn't. That was out of loyalty to Jeffrey. And Savage at least is admitting himself, yeah, I knew it was fucked up when we embraced Gunna in that capacity, but I was getting you back. And he wants Lil Baby to kind of like get on board with this type of thinking and be like, yo, bro, come on. Like, you know this shit's capping, right? Like, we knew, Gunna was on whatever type of timing, but we let it pass. Now, I don't know if that looks too good for, like, the music scene or, the gangster scene, I guess, because, like, if y'all are admitting that y'all gave somebody a pass that shouldn't get a pass, if the streets is based on codes, aren't you, like, fucking up the entire shit? So he tweets that, then he tweets out, Quavo, Offset. I don't know how they got in the group chat, but he said, y'all niggas tell the world I put y'all on group text. I told y'all to squash it before you even got too far, nigga. If y'all was still together, y'all be unstoppable. He then says, man, last year I was the realest nigga for trying to stop Thug from exposing Gunna. But now I'm fake. He then tweets at QCP, who's the boss of Lil Baby, and he says, yo, I told you to your face. You did wrong at the party, but I never bashed you on the internet because it would have made the city look bad. Because it was never, because you were putting on all the young niggas, it would have fucked the money up. Then 9 hours later, he tweets out, Future, I apologize to my brother. I should have called you first. Interesting. Wow. Let's go back to those jail calls.
Well, God. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just don't respect it, bro. Nigga, you took a plea first, so you done never made it cool for everybody else to take a plea, nigga. Like, I don't respect that.
The judge say so.
But
that's what they supposed to did. Like,
but ain't nobody
niggas trying to go at him to get clout. Yes, they have. Dirt
said something to him, but that's it. Like, Wham, them niggas ain't doing all this shit. Like,
Wham unfollowed him.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just that little boy shit. That ain't really saying that to no. Yeah, that's just like, damn, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, but that's still.
But guess what? That
what
makes
your
you
position is, right?
But
I ain't saying they wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they jumped the gun. But
niggas supposed to have a conversation with you for they do anything. That's just how I look at it.
Wham did.
Did I hear it?
I talked to Wham, so we get on the phone. Hey, you told Buddy them do that? I'm like, hell no. He's like, all right, stay less. Same shit. I'm smart. Off top. Soon it happened. G-Off hit me.
Yeah, but you still at Buddy party though. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Like,
yeah, that was Gunna.
Like,
yo, this is kind of sad because, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It feels like Savage wanted everybody to like still be cool. Thug is in a fucked up place at the time. He's locked up. He feels away. He's seen Gunna take a plea. He feels Gunna sold him out. Yes, he's hearing from Gunna's lawyer, no, he's not going to take a stand, but Thug is like, nah, fuck that. Yo, you betrayed me. And Savage is kind of like, he don't want his homies to not fuck with each other.
He thought you pushed up on me knowing you were business with a rap. It's a jazz smart out, man. Yeah.
Oh, God. But he ain't lying, though. He ain't lying. He did what's wrong, too. You a rat, too, but, nigga, you, shit. That's true.
I understand that too, but get what? The only thing I'm gonna say I
respect
hear the audio
right?
is
I can't.
Buddy probably didn't know nothing about that before he started fucking with a nigga, and then a nigga really helped him. A nigga really took him where he needed to go. You know what I mean?
Now, by the way, to wrap up that Future point, look like Big Bank, who did chime in earlier, and Big Bank is right here. He got Pluto, and he got Savage on the phone. He got both of them on the phone. And looked like whatever issues they did have, which we couldn't find much of it other than this whole Future felt a way about the inclusion of Savage on a potential Drake project in terms of a collab album, because he feels like, we did a collab album first. Why are you going to do it with somebody else, right? But whatever that energy was, whether Future did have that energy or not, clearly now we see both of them on the phone, right? So it looked like they've squashed it to a certain extent. Let's see. Did Savage post anything to his Instagram? No. But it's on Twitter, right? Yeah, none of them even posted it. But Big Bank, he posted it. Here we go. Brazil. Yeah. So it looked like they've gotten on the phone together. Now, didn't they ask about Young Thug in his new interview?
Nobody ain't been on the Billboard all year or this month or something.
What
no
Billboard?
Rap artists ain't
On what Billboard?
The top one. What is it? The one.
Ain't no rap song been on the Hot 100
In the top 20.
I bet you when this shit come out, something in the top 10.
Nobody ain't been on the Billboard all year or this month or something.
What
no
Billboard?
Rap artists ain't
On what Billboard?
Do you bring the Knife Talk? That song was originally.
Who do you think could be president?
They told me bombing on.
All right. So again, it looks like, and I'm telling you, man, it's hard to kind of like figure out this like Atlanta like lore and the beef that's going on there, because they're not telling us much. And when you do get someone like Savage, who, it's not that he says he's going to do something to nobody, but like he kind of like responded to Future. You're like, did they have an issue or was there not an issue? Now, the reason why I kind of believe this Future and Savage thing too is, if you type in Future and Drake, a lot of shit comes up in terms of their whole,
Today, Drake and Future stand. In addition to their Zaytoven-produced single "Used to This," also came in April of 2020, winning a Grammy and becoming Future
Before. And it makes Drake and Future album not as
album with instead.
I got it being true too. I have it being true. I got it being true. Now, I'm not saying he's thrown it.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Collab albums with other rappers in the past. The fact that Future had been pushing.
Here we go.
Big rumor that Future.
Oh, it was Nori who, whatever. Yeah, so everybody heard this shit.
Behind the scenes, as Drake and Future had never gone this long without being seen together. And then, in November of 2022, following Drake's collab album Her Loss with not Future but instead another rapper, 21 Savage, this would only fuel the rumors even more.
I heard that's a big rumor that Future is not too happy this Drake and 21 Savage album.
Because Future and Drake did an album before.
And it makes Drake and Future album not as important, I would say.
That's what he feels. According to rumors, Future was upset that Drake teamed up with 21 Savage for an album. While we've seen Future himself do collab albums with other rappers in the past, the fact that Future had been pushing for the release of him and Drake's sequel, What a Time to Be Alive 2, claiming on Instagram back in 2019 that the album was already cooked up, it is possible Future was a little jealous that Drake chose a different Atlanta rapper to do an album with instead.
I got it being true too.
Y'all think that Future is jealous?
I have it being true. I got it being true. Now, I'm not saying he's thrown a temper tantrum in his new 8-figure house, but I think he looked at his phone with one of those meme faces.
But again, while nothing was ever confirmed, another year passed with still no sign of the two together. However, speculation would only skyrocket in 2023 when Drake dropped his album For All the Dogs, with the deluxe edition totaling out at a long 29 tracks, and including features from countless industry rappers including 21 Savage, Yeet, J. Cole, Chief Keef, and Lil Yachty to name a
Is the last collab with Future and Drake Wait For You? It better not be. What is the last collab with Drake and Future? Better not be Wait For You. Wow, it is. Wow. Keep in mind, like, Future was like mad odd when he was talking about that album. Like, he would just not want to talk about it, whatever.
A few, not one of them was his formerly frequent collaborator, Future. Also seeing is the fact that Future did not repost or share Drake's album on social media like he typically always had in the past. At this point, their beef was all but confirmed. And then, just 4 months later, it was. In March of 2024, Future and Metro Boomin teamed up to literally shake the entire rap game as we knew it, with the release of We Don't Trust You.
No. There was more shit when, look, Future just... Here we go. He get asked about the collab with Drake, and he basically had this ominous, like, type of thing. He says it didn't happen, never happened. I think he had gotten asked about what it's time to be alive. Yeah, right here.
Lastly, what a time to be alive.
It never happened, you know what I mean?
He disavowed like the full album that him and Drake worked on. You see him showing off chains. You see Taliban Gang a couple of times, FBG. His OVO chain, not there.
It never happened. It never happened.
Also recruiting the help of Kendrick Lamar, it was immediately clear that they were trying to take out Drake, featuring bars from Future on the album's opening track reading, "You a dude's #1 fan dog, sneak dissin' I don't understand dog," as well as possibly hinting at the real reason the two are beefing, pillow talkin' actin' like a fed, I don't need another fake friend, can't be 'bout a hoe cause we sharin' dog. These lyrics directed at Drake not only confirm their beef but also seem to line up with the theory many fans have made on the internet. After the release of We Don't Trust You, fans began tracing back Drake lyrics from the past few years. That could potentially now have a deeper meaning as
Interesting. Very interesting. But we still gotta find like I feel like we have a good baseline of why they don't like each other. But anyway, fuck it. Cool. So let's get back to these tweets. Wham, you one of the realest niggas. Let's admit, that's what he basically said, that Slime was moving the goalposts and we were standing behind him. And by the way, they're talking about for the earlier situation where maybe he was on Crime Stoppers, right? Then Quavo went off, said, y'all tell the world. I put y'all on group text to squash it before it even got far. Nigga, if y'all were still together, y'all be unstoppable. Then he said, last year, I was the realest nigga for trying to stop Thug for exposing Gunna. Now I'm fake. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I got to comment on that. Yeah, these situations usually are... These situations are not benefiting usually the artists involved, right? When... Hold on, I lost my train of thought. Okay. Yeah. So essentially Savage, like even tweeting this out, you know what I mean? Most of this stuff, we don't even know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, again, even this like Offset and like Quavo shit, I'm going to be honest with you, like even somebody who's like me, who's in the blogs and I do that for a living, I kind of confirmed that like this whole Offset Sweetie thing, I confirmed it through their reaction. I didn't know it was true. I heard because, you know, bitches talk and this and third. So when Savage is kind of bringing some of this stuff to light, and even if he's trying to make a point about it, fans are kind of just watching like, wait, what the fuck? And what I'm saying is that Atlanta rappers have done a great job of concealing their issues, right? So, I do think that Savage was looking at people trying to change a narrative on him. And, I don't know what y'all think about it. And we could talk about the sales. People were starting to say, oh, Savage ain't keeping it real. And I do think that's the interview that fucked with him. People wanted, if Savage never did an interview, because you know what people wanted on the interview? They wanted him to be like, well, if I call Gunna a rat, I'm going to call Thug a rat. That's what they wanted. They didn't get that. Let me see. 21 Savage, big. Here we go. No, not that. Not that.
I was waiting on you. Slime didn't do nothing wrong to me.
I kind
situation.
of see.
The only situation, the only thing I told Slime was, this your young nigga, man. You know this young nigga.
Here we go.
Right?
This is what I was looking for.
You know in your heart, goddamn. Then I can't say that neither, because it be like, I be like going back.
You see, the Savage is a broken computer. He's a computer that every time you start it up, he gets blue screen. There's two things holding Savage back from being like a ruthless, like just dumbass street nigga. Is that Savage is a logical guy. And you can see he wants to say some shit out of loyalty, but his logic says, damn, that don't make sense. I can't say it. Right? Because he kind of want to say, yo, listen, you knew this nigga wasn't gangster like that. This nigga been told. But then, you know what he's thinking? Well, Gunna was out here claiming that he was a Crip. And we all allowed him, and we all like looked the other way when he was claiming he was a Crip. So if we come out and say, yo, he wasn't like that. Well, why did we allow him to claim a gang? So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. And that's why Savage is in a tough spot trying to explain this shit, because it's like, there's no good answer. I think he did say the best things on Instagram, like, yo, let's get this shit back together. Like, yo, forgive people. I do think that's important. But what else y'all expect?
Back and forth about this shit, because in my heart, I don't feel like he did it to hurt him. But then again, I feel like do anything to get out sometimes too. Do get in that space in their head where it's like.
Now, somebody said sidetrack. I'm definitely not sidetracked. I'm commenting on why Savage thinks it's appropriate, because there's one way to look at this and say, yo, Savage kind of called out Thug, basically saying, yo, we didn't agree with you with calling some people snitches. We were riding with you out of loyalty, but enough is enough. Let's get back to, some family shit rather than do the other stuff. And I don't think that was necessarily his mission or his goal. Anyway. I'll play a little bit more of this.
Like, bro, fuck that, I'm ready to come home. But this how I think he was thinking. Like, this is my opinion. I feel like Gunna was thinking in his head, but I ain't saying I seen Slime do nothing. I ain't saying no specific nothing that I seen nobody do nothing like, oh, I seen this happen. I seen this person shoot this person. I seen them lead to go kill him.
And that's the sad part about the Savage stuff. I think, any reasonable person could see both sides to some extent. When he's like trying to explain how he thinks Gunna may have felt, people feel like he's a snitch too, which that's the problem with, some of these situations and topics where people don't want to talk about him.
I felt like he felt like what he was saying wasn't really snitching in his head. Like, it's just
I agree with
like
that.
Saying some shit, but saying that goddamn, you've seen commit crime.
It's no way that Gunna thinks he's a snitch and then sings. There's no way he thinks he's a snitch. He thinks he's a snitch, and then when it comes time for here we go. Why can't I find it? Yo, Twitter is definitely defeating. Here we go. Can I find it? Wait, we can't find it? Hold on. You know which clip I'm talking about, right? It's Gunna in the club. Gunna club Offset. Where he's like, I ain't snitching on my man, nigga. Fuck a Fed tap. Right here. I told y'all then, I don't think Gunna think he a snitch. I think y'all keep calling him a snitch. I don't think if you said, like, Gunna knows not to do an interview because, honestly, he's doing well without it. And by the way, we got to get to that part of the conversation. I think Gunna would have signed his life away to be cool with, Thug when he just got out because I think he did feel a little bit guilty. I think now after he realized it's been like 2 years or like a year and a half and y'all have kicked his back in and y'all want him to not exist, I don't think he's going to be apologizing for any time in the foreseeable future. Because why would he? Yeah, why would he? Anyway, let me just play a little bit more of this.
Crimes on behalf of YSL, that's bad, bro. That's not good. Like that don't no matter your intention to the people, to the world, well, not to the world, because the world switched. At first they were saying, goddamn, he was wrong. Now they saying he right. But goddamn, to like me and shit, like Gunna called me when he first got out, bro, on my mama. I was sitting in the bed. He was like, bro, what's up? I'm like, boy, yo ass home, boy, ooh, you good? Ooh, I ain't even see the video yet. Boom. Got down, I see the video. He called me, I think he was leaving the jail or something the first time I talked to him, or he just got in the house. The second time he called, I think he was telling me pull up, like everybody was at his spot. So got down, I done seen the video now.
All right.
Necessarily snitch on a nigga, like say, this nigga did this, but you saying you're helping them.
All right, I'm gonna sum this bitch up because I feel like we're also beating a dead horse. So okay, let's read the rest of the tweets. It's last year I was a realist nigga. We read that already. It's like QCP. I told you to your face you did wrong at the party, but I never bashed you on the internet because it would have made the city look bad because you're putting all the young niggas, and that would have fucked up the money, right? And then he actually apologized to Future. So I don't know what that apology is for. Maybe something happened. I don't know, but he's apologizing to Future. And then we get to see that him and Future are on FaceTime courtesy of Big Bang. So I'm guessing that, the beef or whatever issues they have is squashed. Also, when you look at Future's page, Future as well did at him, and Future said this, yo, 21 Savage, you're my little brother for infinity, us 6. Was this shady? You're my little brother. Don't Atlanta niggas say twinning them? Atlanta niggas be like twin. Why did he go with you're my little brother? Like, okay, like you. Is that instigating? Maybe, whatever. Okay. Then Future also tweeted, he says, bigger than the net. And he said, us. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the tweets. And that seems to be the majority of the tweets, right? Where he's saying to QCP, I told you what I felt about this. Yo, let's make, long story short, short story shorter. I don't think people give a fuck about the majority of stuff that's, whether coming out through these tweets or whatever. I think it's a breaking point where these people have to pick a choice. I think even Savage. I think Savage is a loyal nigga. He's a loyal nigga. And not that he would be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to pick you and then we're going to go do a bunch of crimes together. I think his loyalty outweighs what the street code is, which it should. So yeah, he might not be hanging with Gunna in certain times when it's like, street shit's afoot or they're having certain type of arguments and conversation. But I do not for a single second actually believe that when it comes time to like Future, or it comes time to like, not Future, specifically Savage, he's making an educated choice because of his friend. And it's okay. You're supposed to have some loyalty. You're supposed to like your friend. You're supposed to try to give your friend the benefit of the doubt. This is like this idea that you have to be like these rigid street codes and not talk to somebody ever again. Like these people, they know each other's families. Like these people, when it's their birthdays, they look out for each other. They know each other very well. Why the fuck would they just like succumb to the internet and just be like, yo, I'm done with this? Or fuck this guy because he broke some rule or some code that nobody really cares about. So I think that's what Savage was saying. He said at the end, fuck the streets. We ain't get shit but trauma from that. Matter of fact, let me get on Discord real quick too. Can I get on Discord? That's not the right one. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so for me, man, I want Atlanta rappers to be just honest and truthful. I think Savage took it a long way today, but just be honest, bro, and truthful. That's why people are using words I know they don't like, hypocrite, this and third. Just be honest and truthful. That's it. Wham, you one of the realest things. We just seen Wham at some shit. Lil Baby showed up to Thug's whole thing. If you really felt like this guy was that crazy of a person or you hated him, like come on. Do y'all get what I'm saying, or am I tripping? All right. All good. Once again, let me kind of go through all these tweets. And I know I took a long ass time on them. Damn, it's like about to be 3 o'clock. Future tweeted some shit. Savage tweeted some shit that was a little bit more obvious. We seen Big Bang say, yo, take your position, King. You the one I'm with for life. That turns into him tweeting up a bunch of things. Wham. You one of the realest young niggas, bro. Let's admit Slime was moving the goalposts, bro. And we were standing behind it because we love our brother. He also says the Offset Quavo thing. Here's my fear with this. Because I do think niggas are living in delusion, I'm waiting for one of these niggas living in delusion to just try to blame all of this on they're gonna blame all this on what am I thinking? They're gonna blame all this on Savage by him trying to play peacemaker and saying, hey, listen, maybe we don't gotta be like these super tough niggas who can't forgive, or maybe we should understand that this is why that happened, and there's a couple of circumstances that we should probably think about, and if we really do care about the legacy that we're building here, we got to have these conversations. And the conversations can't be like we're all gangsters, so this is intolerable. We got to realize what we got going on. Like him saying, yo, where is it at? Fuck. He was like, basically, fuck the streets. I don't believe he doesn't respect the streets. Yeah, here we go. No, not this. Oh, we've seen that already. Let's go to Savage page. Okay. So, my whole point is this. Savage is going in an area where you have to compromise and you have to learn to forgive. And you have to admit you're wrong. In any of this situation, the reason why, and I know y'all gonna say, oh, you're cool with him. No, nigga, like, bro, a lot of this stuff probably is like some street stuff. I think all this snitching stuff is stupid. I just think that I give Savage credit because it would kill these guys to fucking get online and just say, hey, we probably shouldn't have went that hard on Gunna. You know what? You know, we love Thug and, you know, like we kind of took a step back and we looked at it. Yo, Gunna, my bad that we did that to you, bro. Yo, Gunna, like, that's what's holding everything up. Y'all do realize this, right? It's like, I don't even think these guys got to be friends with Gunna. It's like people are just looking at everybody. I'm not really even talking about Savage. They're looking at really Thug. And they're like, yo, Thug, bro, like, what's the word with you? That's what people are looking at, like, oh, what's the word with you? It's pretty simple. But here's the thing. There's a finality towards it. If you say, oh, I don't mind that this guy did A, B, and C, you're basically saying fuck the streets for life, right? Like, you know, you can't really like play the 50 on that. So I said Gunna never apologized either, though. But I don't believe that it's not on Gunna to apologize, because if y'all had it y'all way, he wouldn't have a career. And if his career wasn't going up or looking good, would y'all want an apology from Gunna? No. I'm not a mediator. Let me tell you this. Y'all Atlanta rappers, number one, I know I was being facetious, like, you know, way back when I said, oh, y'all need to have some therapy. Yo, I heard Thug voice crack mad times when he was talking about Gunna in that Big Bang interview. Like, he was hurt to the core. You could tell, like, bro, he was hurt. We're seeing everybody act out of character, and not no one is trying to volunteer their ego or volunteer their time to be like, yo, you know what? We want to see this get better. That's the problem. Let's see. All their ego got to do is be like, yo, listen, you're Gunna. Honestly, man, you did bad, bro. Like, on a street level, like, we can't fuck with that. But you're our friend. And just like how, you know what looks crazy, chat? This is the craziest part about it. And this is why I kind of agree with Savage, and I'm glad it felt like he started having independent thinking. Yo, you know what looks horrible for Thug? All that shit you're saying, give me a second. This is your father, the man who gave you birth, the man who you probably was the first man around, hopefully your son, and you taught him principles. You taught him how to be a man. You taught him things that he could identify with, and this is your son. Not your son. I mean, this is your father. I mean, sorry. Your father is hugging Gunna. And when I first saw it, I'm like, I don't think this is the full story. The full story must be like they don't fuck with this guy. Like they don't fuck with the father. And then I looked on Twitter today. We seen the same guy. So back-to-back nights, the same guy is taking a picture with Thug. Because if Thug got all that energy to anybody else who could have that type of thing, what do you have towards yourself? Yeah, I get it. Your hands are folded, like you're not, but that's still your father. And your father communicates very frequently with someone you don't really seem to care about. And then it's crazy when I watch this. It's crazy when I look at this and I look at this. The important lesson to learn here is that most things in life are about the relationships you build, the people you meet. Thug's being stubborn. Thug, you damn near cried over that nigga, man. Of course you're hurt. Of course you want an explanation. But the idea that you're good without it, I don't believe for 1 second. You want that explanation. You want to figure out why Gunna did what he did. You want to figure out if Gunna really, like, heartlessly was saying, fuck this nigga Thug, I don't care what happened to him. You definitely want these things. But we're all left with the same questions. And that's why I like Savage for advancing it. So none of y'all gonna say nothing? Never forget.
Welcome to Perspective with Bank.
And at the end of my conversation, I say, get my number if y'all want to know something.
What make young
the
niggas
smartest
feel
nigga gonna
they
be
can
like,
spin the
bitch ass nigga, you
police,
ain't telling them then.
What make y'all young niggas feel like y'all can spin the police though? I don't understand that though. I don't understand that.
Man, the week all this went on and took out, please, at the end of the and all I run on the phone. Hey, bro, me and Goo out, motherfucker, people on this case. All you know is 3 niggas. Me, Gunna, and Duke. That's the only niggas you know in this case, Gunna. So when you said, yes, I know 3 or more niggas that committed these crimes, who the fuck is you talking about? Me, Gunna, and Duke? Because we the only niggas you know anyway. I know you could have been talking about anybody. It's cool. But just so happen how the dice roll, you don't know nothing but 3 niggas. So.
Interesting. Bruh. Yo, at the end of the day, and you know what? Just because it's late, I'm just gonna, I feel like I dragged and I did a lot of like sidetracking throughout this convo. So, I'll give it straight for 10 minutes. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. And for anybody who think I'm hiding from it, I'm not. $21 Savage sold 53,000 first week. And some of y'all are going to say, nah, he only started tweeting because he sold that. That's not what came across to me. Are we being honest here, people? That's not what came across to me. I think Savage has always been someone that people sees. I see him as this. And I might be a little bit biased, but I know him personally. I was listen, he's the one who called me on the phone. Yo, he put me and Meek Mill on the phone. Meek Mill's talking to me like a rapper at first. And he had to make sure, like, yo, come on, we don't need to do that. Yo, bro, y'all here to talk. This ain't Meek. Nigga, Meek hopped out of a vehicle. This is facts. I'm not trying to make Meek look crazy. He's doing the rapper shit. Savage is there being a human. Yo, Act. Here's Meek. Here's Act. Yo, listen, I fuck with y'all both, man. Like, bro, none of y'all want to do nothing to each other, really. Like, yo, y'all just got some disagreements. Yo, bro, come on. Y'all just talk. Y'all figure out something. I'm going to be on the phone with y'all. Come on, like, y'all talk as men. Y'all niggas never talk. And I ain't going to lie to you, the first thing Meek did, he started doing, which I'm calling it rapper shit. Yo, Act, man, I'm always prepared to go to war, man. He hops out of the car. Yo, listen, man, I have bulletproof cars. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm not trying to make Meek look crazy. What I respect about Savage is that he's a human. Like, especially to even the media guy, he's a human. I ain't never seen him as a rapper. This is why sometimes I be feeling bad because I'm like, yo, you know, because I don't really look at him like a rapper like that, and not that it's not good, because of course I bump his music, but it's like, it kind of might come across that he's more of the homie than, you know, you have a friend and you be like, yo, you don't bump his shit as much as other people bump his shit, type shit. But here's the point I'm trying to make. I feel like Savage, I don't think he tweeted these things because of his sales. I just want to say that. Because I think there's people saying, nah, man, nigga, you only said that. I think he honestly tweeted this because the conversation that he had start flipping. And people are looking at him not only like, yo, bro, we usually look at you for the voice of reason, bro. That's Savage. Savage is the voice of reason. As I said, I look at him like that personally because he's put me on the phone with people, and I've seen him say, yo, come on, knock that rapper shit off, man. Like, y'all talk like, man, come on. Like, come on, let's do this. That's him. So I think as a human, he's been looking at the conversation, and he's a loyal nigga, but he's not a fake nigga, too. And he starts seeing people like they're just looking at him like, oh no, you just picking up for Thug. Whatever Thug say, you're just gonna repeat it. Oh man, like y'all niggas is hypocrites. And I think that's why he came out with it. You know, at the end of the day, like, and again, I know some people, no matter what I say, they're gonna still say whatever. Hip hop is in a down right now. Now, granted, do I think Savage happy with his sales? Nah. Yo, Baby did 34,000 first week. Baby did 34,000. Thug did 54,000. Look like Savage is gonna be doing, and that's the first album out of this year. Look like Savage is gonna be doing like 54. Gunna, who did 120 before, did 80. Bro, there's nobody who's dropping music that's going up. And I ain't gonna lie, I would tell Savage the same thing. Like, bro, like, you're not an exception to the only nigga who gonna go up, only two niggas gonna really go up. The next time Kendrick drop, he's up. The next time Drake drop, he's up. Well, actually, no, if Kendrick drops before Drake. If he drops after Drake and Drake got a classic, nobody gives a fuck about Kendrick no more. Send it back to Gulag. Drake shit's going up no matter when. Like, Drake could drop midnight, New Year's Eve is going up. Because in reality, this is, you know, as much as whatever, it's the best rollout plan. But I'm saying all that to say, I don't think these tweets came out because of his sales. I think Savage look at these niggas like his brothers, right? He cares about them. And he's tried to do nothing but play peacemaker like how he's done in many situations. And he's watching people start to change the narrative about him. Remember what last year, and he said it. Remember last year, he says, yo, last year y'all said I was the realest nigga. He's not saying like this is why like my album would have did this. You could tell, and this is why I kind of feel bad for the Atlanta crew, because they're gangster niggas, but they don't want to act like they have feelings, bro. Like, y'all all got feelings. Yo, Thug, you was hurt as a motherfucker over Gunna, bro. Nigga, we seen it. Your voice was cracking. You wanted to cry, but you were trying to make it seem cool. Not saying like you faking none, but you was trying to make it like, nah, it's just because he betrayed me. Bro, this is your man. This is your friend. This is a guy who has met your kids. This is like, you're hurt about it. And I think he does kind of say that. But when I look at Savage even saying this stuff, I think he's hurt from the discourse. Because I think he's one nigga who's like, bro, I took my energy to try to fix shit between people. And I ain't gonna lie, maybe it is him looking at the internet a little bit too much though. Because he's looking at the internet and hearing people switch up their stance. Remember when them calls came out? Nigga, yo, everybody said, yo, it's one thing about, look, nigga, I remember even Brilliant Idiots. Well, really, Sean, man, you know, Brilliant Idiots. Everybody was saying, you know who the realest nigga is? 21 Savage.
But, oh, free.
Look,
Music Thug gonna be making, and it's like Thug playlist. Let me let you.
Hold on. Everybody said it. Everybody said it. Is it this? Nah. I can't find a full conversation. But everybody was saying, yo, what we all realize from these leak calls is that Savage is a real ass nigga. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And he probably won't like me saying this, but I think, bro, these things matter to him. I think he's been watching the conversation switch up. He's seen dumb shit happen. And he's watching, like, people getting really fractured. And I think he was a little emotional. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's my nigga. But I think these tweets was him kind of saying, yo, bro, like, nigga, I'm down to say what I've been saying privately to y'all, to the world. Yo, he said this kind of on the jail calls. Yo, bro, you know, he not saying the nigga ain't ratted. He's just like, bro, you know the nigga wasn't a gangster anyway, bro. Like, put like this. If Savage found out that I pressed charges on somebody for something, you think Savage would be like, nah, I ain't fucking with Act no more? Or would he be like, bro, y'all knew Act was going to do some shit like that? I think that's how he's looking at Gunna now. I think it gets complicated because, yes, Gunna was a Crip. Gunna was in the whip, like, basically. You know what I mean? So it does get complicated, but I think that's why he's saying it, right? So if we go back to these tweets, you know, I think this was he says, last year I was the realest nigga for trying to stop Thug from exposing Gunna. Now I'm fake. Bro, who's saying he's fake now? It's only fans. He's talking to fans, or not necessarily talking to fans, but he's addressing the new narrative that fans are keeping up. Like, yo, man, that nigga Savage. And why do they keep up that narrative? It's because he did that interview right before his album dropped, and the interview, there's no way to make this shit look good. And in really thinking about this, everybody's hurting because they're stuck between loyalty and logic. Loyalty and logic. You see, loyalty trump logic. Remember I said that before. Logic is, yo, we in the club. Why you step on that nigga's shoe? Yo, bro, you know you was wrong. What you doing, bro? Like, yo, hold on. Yo, ayo, nah, we got it's our mans. Hold on, my bad. He drunk. You stop the fight. Nah, he drunk. No, hold on, chill. Yo, we got this, bro. My bad. Like, yo, you know, we apologize for that. You bring him to the side, bro. You need some water? You good? Yo, you stepping on niggas' kicks here? Like, you wilding in here. Like, that's logic. Like, yo, bro. And then the nigga might be drunk, like, nah, I ain't step on his shoes. Like, nah, that nigga, he this. Bro, that didn't happen. Like, you stepped on a nigga, you wilding in here. Like, this is how we could get into it. Chill out, dog. Yo, matter of fact, let's go home, dog. That's logic. Loyalty, and it's not like, you know, it may not be the best example, but still, like, loyalty is, Your man drunk, step on somebody's shoes, they're getting into it, he's shouting now. Now it gets into a thing or whatever. Yo, y'all fighting, you fight with your man, you know your man was wrong. Yo, I'm just loyal to my man. I got to rock out with him. And I think that's where I'm seeing Atlanta being stuck in between. I think Savage was stuck in between that today. And it's kind of sad because the way how people perceive street niggas is that they don't look at them as anybody that have any type of, they don't even look at them as emotions, like have emotions like, yo, these guys are friends. Like, yo, these guys are friends. These guys were cool. Like, they're going through it. I don't think people look at it like that. Like, yo, they're going through it. And I think what Savage is saying is that, yo, Wham, like, bro, like, we all got to get past this, but just remember that we kind of knew Gunna was not the type of niggas that we associate with, but we love Thug and we're loyal to him. Thug been good to us. We've been good to him. So we rode out on that principle. However, when we rode out on that principle, the Rico shit happened and yes, ma'am. Why could we be that mad at Gunna? That's how I'm reading all this. Right? And then obviously he's addressing, I think y'all calling him a hypocrite. Like, I think he's so, keep in mind what he tweeted, the realist. Right? He cares about his reputation, man. He cares about what people think about him in the sense of, I'm not a snake. I'm not some type of rat that's going to, do whatever. No. So he's trying to get to the place where people understand him. So he even says to QCP, I told you to your face you did wrong. But I ain't into trying to bash you online. It would have made the city look bad. You were putting all the young niggas on. It would have fucked up the money. Does it make sense what I'm saying? I don't want to repeat it for another time. I feel like it makes sense. Does it make sense? And you know what? Y'all said don't get on Discord, so it's fine. I'm going to open up the, let me open up all the chats. You guys could just send, it doesn't have to be a donation of a lot. Just ask whatever questions and I'll answer them. Because I kind of feel like I fully get it. But the way I get it, everybody's going to say it looks pussy. Because if you a gangster, you're not supposed to have any type of emotions or even think about shit like this. Give me a second. Joe said a bit long-winded, but you got to the point. Hey, just clip that last part. Rate Savage's album. Let me pull up his albums. 21 Savage's album. I really like I Am Great. To me, this is a classic. Okay, we're not bringing in the mixtapes, right? So let me just go off studio albums. I Am Greater Than I Was. I'm going at number 1. I ain't gonna lie to you. Am I going Issa? I might go Issa. No. I did like 7-minute freestyle. Okay. I'm going I Am Greater Than I Was, American Dream. Issa, then I'll go WAP Into the Streets. We're not going to count collab albums or mixtapes, just because if we count those, the ranking changes. But I would say it's number 4 on his album list, which he only has 4, right? So yo, let me say this, man. I'm not from Atlanta, man. But y'all dudes gotta bury y'all pride and y'all ego. I'm not telling y'all to forgive Gunna. But the reality of this is that y'all gonna have to figure out what y'all are standing on in rap. And I think everybody's been going through that. Yo, put it like this. The song I love by Baby, when he's like, yo, you want me to put up the lyrics? Superman lyrics. Lil Baby. Bro, it shows exactly what I'm saying. These artists are having a tug and war match between loyalty and love. Loyalty and what was the other thing? I said loyalty and logic. Listen to Lil Baby. He says, I don't show no favoritism. I'm going through that shit. It's not peace. With P. He's talking about the same thing about snitching. Because you know what's happening? Everyone's saying, well, if you don't fuck with him because he's snitching, what about this guy? He did the same thing too. If you fuck with him and he did that, and you don't fuck with him because he did that, you picking and choosing. And these guys, they really are trying to be loyal to this code. You could tell they're trying. He's rapping about it. I don't show no favoritism going through that shit with P. Look, just go back a couple lines. $100 for a 3-5. I'm still serving a block. Can't believe these niggas ate the cheese. And it used to be Fam Ghoul Rollo. Can't put cameras all on me. Bro, that shit ain't G. I don't show no favoritism going through that shit with P. Basically saying, I'm calling out all people who ratted. So now let's think about it. We're talking about logic and loyalty. Bro, you're loyal to Thug, bro. And I'm pretty sure it was a hard thing for him to separate his loyalty, because he was loyal at that point to Gunna, it seemed. He had to get to a point to say, nah, I can say fuck this nigga. But of course, now it's, people are trying to like press the Thug thing, and you love Thug, and I'm not saying he should disavow Thug. What I'm saying is that what these artists are struggling with is, are y'all going with logic or you're going with loyalty? And Rollo said the same thing. You know what Rollo said? Yo, I'm never going against my friend. In one of them early rants when he was talking about Thug, he said, listen, man, yo, that snitching shit, fuck that. I'm never going against my friend. You see, some of these street dudes, they were just acting like, nah, let's call a spade a spade. I don't give a fuck who it is. No, bro, that's not how life works. Everybody picks and chooses. And by the way, I would have respected a lot of these guys if they were saying, nah, we are picking and choosing. Now, granted, that would affect them because people wouldn't give them the same amount of energy. But yeah.
Who the fuck you could? Like, if he would have went to trial, the state, if his shit was getting used in trial, which it was, unless I got out the case, his plea agreement was gonna get used in trial. I know they saying like, oh, he ain't had to get.
I thought an effort plea don't mean that.
Yes, he had to get on. He ain't had to get on the stand. They pushing all those narratives. He ain't had to get on the stand. He wasn't gonna testify against nobody. Yes, he was. If you look at the end of his plea, that shit say this plea agreement could be presented in trial, and if any.
Yo, somebody said I made an excuse for a bad album. Bro, I'm not saying none of this has nothing to do with his album. yo, y'all could trash 21's album. If you don't like it, you don't like it. It's okay. Put it like this. If you need me to say it, his album didn't do good. Numbers wise, of course it didn't do good. What I'm trying to say is that the conversation in these tweets are not a manifestation of that. It's a manifestation of these rappers, and I'm telling you exactly who I'm talking about. Thug is also part of it, even though it feels like they're loyal to Thug. But Thug, Baby, Savage, I think the Future thing is a little bit non-related. I think we have to figure out what that was. I don't think Future wants to have an opinion on these guys because I don't think that's his fight.
Questions come up about this plea. However they wrote it. If anything come about this plea, you must come testify truthfully about what you said in this plea.
Nah.
Nigga, look, every one of they plea said that, except mine. Every plea said that except mine. In Lil 9. Every one of them niggas who took a plea in the beginning.
Yeah. So, all I'm going to say is, man, it's kind of unfortunate because I think some of these guys live and die by hanging their hat on what the streets say, and they want to be seen as logical. And I get it. There's a point of like being a hypocrite if you're not logical, but man, the reality is y'all know each other very well. Y'all know each other, kids, baby moms, parents. You're not going to just say, fuck this guy, I'll never talk to him just because this idea that someone told. So, yeah. Somebody said, I wouldn't say his album is bad. Bro, Chad, his album isn't bad. Bro, his album's like the reality, if I had to rank his album's like a B-. He needed a couple more slaps from me. B-. Bro. This is why it's interesting because people are going to take what his album did and think that his entire, anything he does is like trying to make that look away. I don't think these tweets had nothing to do with the album. Okay? I don't believe these tweets had nothing to do with the album. Okay. Let me move on real quick, chat. I know we're getting late here, and I really apologize for this tardiness. This is not good. I'm sorry. Number one, before I get, I'm just doing some business updates. So, chat, it looks like I'm exactly right. Netflix, they basically, and this is why, this is why I told you Charlamagne wasn't going anywhere. First of all, Charlamagne talked about months ago that, Netflix, he was bringing up Netflix. Netflix was clearly investing in a couple of things. He knew ahead of us, ahead of the game. They were talking to iHeart, and he was in the mix. So this idea that he was going to get, let go, no, they need him. Now, Netflix, remember I told you they're doing what Spotify did. Netflix is just giving licensing deals to a bunch of podcasts to have them on Netflix, and hopefully it could start eating into the market share. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. This is not going to work, right? And I probably shouldn't say that because, anytime I see shit like this, my manager, or not, I don't have a manager, my agent over at UTA usually be like, yo, y'all giving out checks? Yo, Ak will come over there with some shit, and he'll get a check for me. But I'll tell you the reality of it because, honestly, I'm not even really interested in this myself. Well, first of all, my podcast isn't a concurrent weekly podcast anyway, at least at this point. This won't work. This is exactly the motto that Spotify used. Spotify basically said we're going to rent a bunch of podcasts. And by the way, they know it's not going to work. Their idea is not to pop off a podcast. It's about to steal data. So, hey, let's figure out if this is viable. And as soon as they find out it's viable, they're going to let everybody that they're leasing their content, and then they're gonna just announce Netflix podcasts and probably have a different tier for it. That's all they're doing, right? They're just gonna announce billions of dollars, and yes, they're gonna try to compete with Spotify podcasts, but also TV. So Netflix announced that they're partnering with Barstools. If you read this, it says it's a multi-year partnership. It'll bring videos of blah blah to that. Here's the thing. People watch videos comfortably on the platforms that they watch it on, right? Like, for example, I put out video, but I don't promote it, of this stream on Spotify. If you ever want to watch this stream on Spotify, you could go to Spotify, type in what's the name of the thing? You go to Spotify, you could type in The Academy, and we're up there with full video. The point is that people's listening choices, especially for my audience, is not Spotify, especially for a stream. They'll go to Spotify for my podcast, but they don't want to go there for a stream. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because if we start looking at, Netflix is trying to think that they're going to acquire a bunch of people that want to watch podcast videos on their site. No, it's not. So they're going to give out the check for a couple of years. They're going to realize and learn. Then they're going to do, they're going to make their own podcast networks. So they did a deal with iHeart for 15, and then they did a deal with Barstool, which is a multi-year deal, and it says it's going to bring video versions of 1, 2. I think there was a list of podcasts. It might have been 3 podcasts from what's this company called? Barstool. So again, that's the whole point, right? Anyway. Okay. So that happens, and what's the other thing you guys told me to talk about? Yeah, of course. Hey, listen, chat. When you're trying to grow in a market, right? Like, let me give you, when did Joe Budden sign to Spotify, right? So he signed to Spotify on August 18th, right? That's when I'm doing Dolo, the show on Everyday Struggle. Now, this is the important part. How many paid subscribers did Spotify have in 2018? Right? 96 million. Let's keep it going. Joe left 2020. 155 million. Now, granted, their number was always going to increase, but by the time I get on, which is 2021, they have 180. And then by the time I leave, it's 2023, they have 236. Why am I bringing up that number? Spotify just wanted a quicker way to impress their they wanted to impress the shareholder, right? So the way how it works is that they look at growth per quarter, and if you're not growing, you're dying. So as long as you're bringing in record growth, you're good. But of course, they hit a ceiling at some point, and it starts to like die a bit, and that's where people start panicking, right? So I watched this happen with Spotify. They were just trying to get numbers after numbers, but they weren't really investing fully on people's listening and learning habits and where they listen to podcasts at. Okay? Now, I think that's going to last for a couple years. What's also happening in the business world is this change. Okay, Billboard streams, here we go. Okay, now we're going to get to that, and then let's get to this first. So the news came out yesterday, and this was like a huge news, right? Oh, never mind. This is YouTube news still. Okay, so actually, I think this article just gives us everything. All right, so this is Leroy Cohen, by the way, the guy who used to run like Def Jam and now runs YouTube. He is Ebro, well, actually more powerful than Ebro, but he's Ebro at YouTube. YouTube Music. So YouTube says it will stop providing data to Billboard for inclusion in the U.S. charts and in a partnership that's lasted more than a decade. Now, that's important. All the YoungBoy fans, we're talking to you. So when your artist has a lot of YouTube views or concurrent, listenership that's coming from YouTube, they usually make YouTube charts, but that also affects all the DSPs because they look at YouTube as a DSPs, and you get what am I trying to say? I'm blanking here. No. All right. So you get I'm like I forgot the train of thought I was on. All right. So basically, with the YouTube thing, okay, now I remember. So with YouTube, not only are they not gonna them adding on or them providing data is what Billboard takes to like come up with their weekly charts, right? It's been like that for years. They used to do it, obviously, with stores, FYE. They used to do it Target, Best Buy, all these other like mom and pop stores. They used to wait for them. They used to have like a really odd reporting procedure, which I'll get into another time at some point. But then streaming takes over, right? And streaming takes over. You can't go around YouTube. You have people like Lear Cohen who he got hired to kind of make this a streamlined thing where, hey, we're going to comply. Now, they have complied a lot, and this is where the tea is going to come in, people. They've complied a lot with, like, look, Lear Cohen. Let's look at YouTube DSP rates, payout versus Spotify. We'll find the article just off the AI right here. Okay, great. All right. Cool. Bingo. All right, this guy's going to cover it, I think.
So you might know that Spotify pays.
Okay. So here's a chart that everybody uses, right? No. Where's the chart? Sorry. There's a chart. My bad. Payout per DSP for music. Okay, we got to find that chart. Okay, here we go. Royalty exchange. It's a nice chart, but we might not need it. Fuck it. All right, we don't need it. All right, let's just look at that, right? So essentially, YouTube used to be like one half of this, right? So YouTube has one of the lowest payouts per stream. So when you stream a song one time on Tidal, you need to stream it 100 times for it to be a cent, damn near, right? Or no, 10 times. 10 times for it to be a cent. On Spotify, you need to stream it 100 times for it to be a cent, right? YouTube Music, you essentially need to stream it damn near 200 times, damn near, for you to get even close to the same. Now, YouTube has actually improved a bit. I'll tell you this. With Lear Cohen going there, obviously, with Lear Cohen going there and kind of like running and spearheading that thing, and, obviously then you get, I believe Tuma. Is it Tuma? Yes. So Tuma went over there. Tuma used to be at, yeah. So Tuma used to be at Spotify. He went over there as well. They work with the business people to try to get YouTube Music up, because YouTube always realized that, hey, listen, just like how Apple just magically created a Apple Music, we could create a YouTube Music. They integrated it with what they call Red. So like if you pay $10, you could not get ads for anything, which includes regular content, but also music. Because of that, and also there's some bottom consequences, they do pay out very little, okay? YouTube historically, because they deal with user generated content, they don't want to pay out a lot to people, right? You're not a TV network, you don't have a publisher, you don't have an editor. They usually kind of penalize you for that. Over time, that kind of works low-key against them, because the lowest rate that they're paying out of gets places like Billboard and the labels to say, step it the fuck up. Now, before they integrated YouTube Red and YouTube Music as kind of like one, they really wanted like this membership thing where you just pay for music. But people were like, yo, why would we pay two type of bills for two type of content on the same platform? And now that they're trying to cope. So they did mad shit to cope. And, you know, I hope you guys are following me here. Initially, when they brought YouTube Music into the fold, they promised the labels, we'll give you higher CPM. So, for example, if you watch a Kai Cenat video on YouTube versus you play a song that's of the same length, the same amount of times, they promised labels, because the labels obviously are the bullies because they could always take the catalog, they promised them higher return rates and higher CPM, right? And it's been like a teeth-pulling thing, not only with the labels and YouTube, but also Billboard, who kind of represents the labels in terms of the competition. They've been saying, step your shit up. Billboard, YouTube, they're not down to go against their own business in certain sense. Like, you're not going to have us go, you know, oust or denigrate certain type of streams or whatever. Because, again, YouTube, even though they offer paid services, their bread and butter is basically advertising to everyone, you could get this for free. So essentially, it looked like there's some beef and drama that existed because now YouTube says, all right, bet, all right, you want to play hardball? Cool. We don't need to work with you anymore, Billboard. Now, there's a lot of trickle down to this. What's going to happen is that the labels are going to press YouTube because everybody thinks YouTube is the big bad wolf. Yes, but put it like this. The Billboard is the league commissioner. Let me explain music business if y'all didn't know. Warner, Sony, Universal. The league commissioner that kind of tells who's winning and losing, they have given to Billboard that works with Luminate. Luminate used to be what's called SoundScan. Remember when 50 used to do SoundScan? That turns into Luminate. Okay? SoundScan bought by Luminate. So I'm explaining to you, look, it was effectively bought by Luminate, right? I'm explaining it to you in the most, this is the best way to think about the music business. Why does Billboard matter? And I'm going to get into what Russ said, because he's kind of right, but he's wrong. And what I mean by he's wrong is that the music industry goes off of Billboard. They've empowered Billboard. Billboard is their league office. You know, essentially, every owner of a team, they just sign into something that say, hey, even though we own the team, we're going to be, you know, oversaw, or the overseer is going to be the league office. Well, for all the labels that exist in music, the league office is Billboard. They tell who's winning, who's losing, who needs to step it up, who's getting the most money. They're the official scorekeepers, and they kind of make the rules that the labels deal with. If they say we're not doing online stores that aren't coming through A, B, and C, the labels are going to change. Okay? Now, what does that do? These labels constantly, like, think about when Travis Scott drops his album, there's usually a lot of, like, you know, they could audit Billboard a bit, and Billboard owes them, and not necessarily, actually does owe them, like, you know, answers to these questions, because they're the scorekeepers that basically, they're the league office. YouTube basically said, yo, if y'all gonna try to bully us, we're good. Your artists are gonna still need to put up music here, but we don't have to, like, placate to whatever you got going on. They're actually right about that. Here's the problem, though. The labels want YouTube involved, and they're going to put pressure not only on YouTube, but they're going to put pressure on Billboard to fix that relationship. And I'm pretty sure it's probably a lot of drama, right? It's going to be like, yo, listen, we're not going for that. Y'all need to fix this relationship because that's what it is. So at the end of the day, this idea of the music business changing, and again, they did lower the streams. And why they lower the streams, from what I've heard, is that, you know, there's so much. I'm gonna probably double back on this topic too. Like, there's so much drama with it. The stream lowering shit is also a sign that labels and Billboard auditing these labels and auditing some of these numbers and them getting audited from Luminate, they've realized there's less bots. So because there's less bots, it's like inflation. You put some more into the economy because you have cracked down on bots. When there was more bots, nobody cared about, trying to stop this particular number from going out or these type of practices because it was making the entire industry look good. Now that it's not making the entire industry look good, now people want to stop certain stuff, right? So there's a lot of drama going on. A lot of drama. And I hope you guys understand it. So that's what's going on. And if you don't know, according to Chartdemics, starting January 16th, YouTube views will not be counted. Why? YouTube actually put out a statement, said Billboard uses an outdated formula that weights subscription-supported streams higher than ad-supported. Every fan matters and every play should count. YouTube does not force or do not prioritize. That's what the music industry want them to do. Hey, we don't care even if you have premium. Force these people to start paying for music or start doing whatever. And basically, you're having YouTube say no. So it's after a decade-long partnership and extensive discussion, they're unwilling to make meaningful changes. So after then, we're not going to be delivering data anymore. Okay? So they could be this is going to be a stalemate. I think they're going to fix it not before this launches, but probably a little bit after. But this is hella drama. Hella drama. We're going to have to see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, a lot of bots involved. Shit definitely got hot. We will see what it is, man. Oh my God, you guys are still up. Interesting. Chat. I'm taking it down for the night. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think I've kind of explained this a bit. Yo, if I'm an artist and if I'm Drake, and I'll just end it with this. If I'm Drake, I push my album back to March. Yo, the industry's beefing with itself. And it's beefing with itself because a bunch of things. They're beefing over bots. Yo, should we increase this because they're doing a better job? It's cracking down at bots. Okay, all right. The labels are putting pressure on everybody. We want more money because streaming is turning into, it's becoming stagnant. What's happening when streaming becomes stagnant? No one's spending money. The labels don't want to spend money on new artists. Obviously, we just went through a battle that kind of sucked the life out of the industry anyway, but labels don't want to spend money anyway. Why they don't want to spend money? Because they don't want to invest in something. Put it like this. If I have a business that I own catalog, that's what labels own, catalog. Why am I going to keep investing if you're telling me we're hitting a ceiling? We can't grow anymore. If you're telling me, like, okay, let's think about Instagram followers, right? Let's think about Instagram followers. This is an example. If I was at 2 million followers and you say, Ak, if you spend $100,000 every 3 months on promo, you're going to get 500,000 followers in 6 months. And I'm growing. $500,000 is a lot of money. But I'm growing. But then you tell me when I get to 5.2 million, you're like, yo, yeah, you could give us like, this amount of money for this amount of months or whatever, but we can't guarantee you that anymore. I'm going to be like, what the fuck? Yo, how do we grow? And that's where it goes to. We're trying to figure out how do we grow because right now we're in a place of non-growth. So that's why you're not having labels invest, and then you're having a lot of these other things happening, but trust me, it's drama along the board. YouTube is hitting the DSPs, but the labels as well to say, show us that you guys don't really need to compromise with us. And I think they're about to play hardball. Shout out to Detroit Nug. Shout out to you, brother. Anyway, chat, I'm getting off of here. I apologize for streaming so late tonight, man. Tomorrow, I promise you I'll be on an earlier time. There's so much to be discussed, and, you know my demeanor already. So I'm probably doubling back on topics tomorrow too. So please don't, have some patience tomorrow as well. And we did a lot of sidetracking tonight, so hopefully you guys were entertained. But we did a lot of sidetracking. We got to double back on some topics and kind of figure out what is, still the topic of the day, especially for tomorrow as we go into. Is tomorrow? What day is today? Yeah, today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. All right, chat. I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Again, we are still going every day. We're doing these daily streams. We're trying to mix it up. I still didn't even get a Candace Owens. Oh my God. Chat, I'm doing a daytime stream. Or reasonably. You know what? Book it. What time can I get on stream tomorrow? I need everybody here. 4:30. I'll do a 5-hour stream tomorrow. 4:30 to 9:30. All right. Please, everybody be here. I'll be here. I want to get to this Candace stuff. And I'm just looking at the clock. It's like 4 o'clock. And I know I'm still seeing 12,000 people in here, but I'm like, you guys are probably like drones at this point. All right. So, chat, meet me 4:30 tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern time, which is 1:30 Pacific time. That's 9:30 UK time. Meet me here tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern time. Whatever topics we can get to, we'll get to then. But also, I'm going to touch back on some of this business stuff. It's really convoluted. But anytime I start talking a lot and I'm like, are they getting it? I feel like it's a daytime thing that we could like really spell shit out, right? Chat, I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Please go get some sleep. And the streamathon continues. I love you guys for supporting me. And thank you. There's nothing bigger than the chat. Make sure you guys get in the Discord, discord.gg/academics.